what it takes to round the mic right up the shoot. Seeking a place where young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right up still watch what you say out your mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the gun down. I'm in the hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Shoot, seeking a place where young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right up the shoot. Seeking a place where young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right up the shoot. Seeking a place where young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right up still watch what you say out your mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the gun out. I'm in the hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Shoot, seeking a place where young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right up the shoot. Seeking a place where young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right up the shoot. Seeking a place where young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right up still watch what you say out your mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the gun out. I'm in the hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. The shoot, seeking a place where young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right up the shoot. Seeking a place where young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right up the shoot. Seeking a place where young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right up still watch what you say out your mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the gun down. I'm in the hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Hood when I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack wood when I'm traveling. Shoot, seeking a place where young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right up the shoot. Seeking a place where young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right up the shoot. Seeking a place where young free, and I got what it takes to round the mic right up still watch what you say out your mouth, cause 50 shots still turn the gun out. I'm in the hood when I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack run when I'm traveling. 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 Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack run when I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. When I'm traveling. Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack run when I'm traveling. 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 Get that when I'm traveling. Six pack run when I'm traveling. Sure, seeking a place where you're free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Sure, seeking a place where you're free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Sure, seeking a place where you're free, and I got what it takes to rock the mic right. Still walking through they I'm shooting my guns, 50 shots till you turn the gun out. I'm Mr. Hood when I'm traveling.
Share, subscribe, tell a friend, to tell a friend. DJ HAMP about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, to back the facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dancing jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. This might be risky.
Perfect.
Go.
Perfect. Wow.
Share, subscribe, tell a friend, to tell a friend. DJ HAMP about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, to back the facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dancing jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. This might be risky. Let's go, let's go. This might be risky. No, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ HAMP, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ HAMP, it's time to start the show.
Run! It's a stampede! DJ HAMP, the stampede. DJ
HAMP does HAMP.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most.
Run! It's a stampede!
DJ HAMP does stamp. DJ HAMP does HAMP.
Good morning. Happy Monday and all that. To everybody in the building, to everybody who came through yesterday. Let me ask y'all a question. Is it vertical or horizontal? Can y'all see both streams? There's a new feature in the program in which I'm using, in which it said that it'll have a vertical and a horizontal stream. Do y'all see that? Or do you only see the vertical stream? Let me know. Okay. Let me see something. Man, this sucks. Okay. I'm mad close. Okay. I don't know. Should I? Okay, so it's two separate ones. Let me see. Okay. I almost want to cancel the. I don't know if I can watch it. Damn, I'm mad close, huh? Hold on. I don't really be liking that vertical shit. I ain't gonna lie, but I don't think I can change it now. I can't change it now. It is what it is, I guess. And it looked trash too. It looked like it's now only vertical. That's crazy. Man, I kind of want to change it then. But I think I gotta restart the stream to do so. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. DJ HAMP about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat, and to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels, and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dance and jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. This might be risky, let's go. This might be risky, no, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ HAMP, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ HAMP, it's time to start the show. Yeah, it's a broadcast. Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. DJ HAMP about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat, and to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels, and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dance and jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world you know this might be risky. Let's go, let's go. This might be risky. No, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ HAMP, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ HAMP, it's time to start the show. Yeah. It's a broadcast. It's a broadcast. It's a broadcast, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. DJ HAMP about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real. Well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dancing jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky. I hope you know. This might be risky. Let's go, let's go. This might be risky. No, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ HAMP, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ HAMP, it's time to start the show. Yeah. It's a broadcast. It's a broadcast. It's a broadcast, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. DJ HAMP about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real. Well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon.
The stream like this, it is what it is. You heard. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most, man. Yeah, I think it lets you choose which one. So I don't know, trying it, see what it look like, see what the engagement is. I don't know if it helps or hurts. I guess we'll find out, man. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, man. Salute to everybody in the building so far. Happy Monday. The show we had yesterday was dope as hell. So if you want to go back and watch that, by all means, please do. It was a conversation that you probably heard before, but we try to approach it in a different way. So definitely go tune into it if you're interested, man. Salute. There's 100 people in the building. Let me see you in the chat real quick and we get it popping, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Now, this stream in particular today, I'm trying to really get some understanding of what y'all see in being a Democrat or a Republican, and like Chicago Rilla said, Democrips and Rebloodicans, because I know that people were out of work for over 30 days because these two motherfucking sides couldn't come to an agreement. You know what I'm saying? You got the Supreme, you got the courts, making them give out money, and you have half SNAP benefits and shit like that, and we always had this conversation about benefits, and we still need to have it thoroughly in terms of what is considered government aid or government assistance, what disabilities, SNAP benefits, Section 8, so on and so forth. They were canceling flights overwhelmingly yesterday because there weren't enough TSA workers. The people that are there now are obviously they're going to recoup the wages, right, that they didn't receive, but they were essentially working without getting paid on their regular schedule, and so we were seeing long lines and etc. What are the residual effects of this constant back and forth between the Democrats and Republicans? Like, they always say there's a Democratic plantation, but to be frank, I really can't tell the difference. Bigger government, smaller government. Every time there's a party that's in place, I don't even know like what changes for real. Like, they talk about inflation, up, down, etc. But I don't know. The cost of living seems to continue to rise. And then I like, for instance, we talk about gas prices, right? And I'm speaking from a layman point of view, right? I'm not as versed in the politics stuff, but it really depends on where you live. So when you in Texas, the gas prices be low as hell, right? But then when I go to DC for whatever I got to do up there, they high as shit. And then when I go to Jersey, they be a little bit lower. And then when I cross into New York, they be higher. And then when I go to Connecticut, they be high as hell. You know, the gas prices in North Carolina when I was there were cheaper than when I used to drive from North Carolina to Connecticut. And I used to get up. You get to Maryland and shit, they be high as hell. Delaware, they be pretty high. And then Jersey, they drop a little bit. And Jersey got full service gas pumps, meaning you cannot pump your own gas in the state of New Jersey. This shit is like a game. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about who did what for us. You know what I'm saying? Who did something for black people? No fucking body. Right? So I'm trying to figure out how y'all even err on either side. How do you choose who real and who ain't? Like, I don't even know. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying, Truth. And I sent you the link too. I meant to text you that. But I'm just trying to get, a few people up here who understand this better than me. Homeboy, you already know. Yeah, maybe so, right? But I'm just listening. I'm just trying to understand like how y'all sit here and be mad at this person, but I'm not mad at that person, right? I'm mad close on the vertical shit. Yo, and it's like, when do y'all start forgiving people? Like, we were having a conversation about the what's the stop and frisk bill? What was that bill? The crime bill. And Joe Biden all up and through that shit. And Joe Biden say, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And Hillary Clinton got hot sauce in a backpack. And I swear, niggas just love Trump. Trump towers this, Trump towers that. Niggas love Trump in every single song. And then I don't know, something happened where Trump did some different shit, and then it was fuck Donald Trump. Via what's that nigga name? YG. I need somebody to help me understand what's the difference. What is the difference? The people who are edified in politics, tell me the difference between the Rebloodicans and the Democrips. Oh, let me change this name. I messed this name up here. Because us people who, you know what I'm saying, we just out here trying to grind, like we don't get this shit. And y'all be heavily invested, you heard? And so we trying to figure out, like, how do you tell the difference between these two parties? Shit go back and forth all day long. Inflation is up, now it's down. This person stimulate the economy, now inflation is up, now the other person got to drive it back down. And then I'm trying to figure out how y'all discern who right or wrong and who you really rooting for. You know what I'm saying? And why you rooting for them. Where the fuck is this? You know? So I just want to understand this shit. Okay, so we created 2 streams. Okay. What y'all think? Should I leave the vertical stream up there or should I cancel it? Let me know. I don't want people to be too confused. I think I can end it and then keep the other one. Let me know. All right, I'm gonna see if it. Hopefully, it don't mess nothing up. I'm gonna try to put the vertical stream in the bathroom. Oh, let me see. All right, I'm gonna try to end this one. Hopefully, it worked. All right. All right. I think I got it. I think I got it. All right. We good. We good. We good. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, man. I gotta cover these two things, and then I'll bring we'll go through this shit. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most.
What the hell? Oh my God! No way! Talking about.
So this right here now, I saw this maybe yesterday or 2 days ago. Somebody sent it to me, maybe this morning. I'm not sure. But you know, Big Aaron, it's the Marines' birthday today, Veterans Day tomorrow, and so these things are things that he holds. Is it Veterans Day? I think so. Yeah, where these things he holds dearly and shit. You know, so he'll be out today. And so I saw this, and I'm just wanted to get some veterans' point of view and just people point of view in terms of what y'all thought about this, man. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. So you can read the caption here. Let me see. Can I hear it?
And the
I'll play it twice so y'all can hear it.
for the land of the free and the home of the gayest again. For the land of the free and the home of the gayest again.
He at a motherfucking Rockets game, right? Is that the Rockets? Hold on. I want to make sure y'all hear this shit.
For the land of the free and the home of the gayest again.
This where we at? This is what we doing? Toyota Center, Houston Rockets game. It's not even no backyard shit. And he just got that off. We go for any and everything, man. And of course, he black, right? Of course. Duh. Of course he black, right? That is crazy to me. And he got it off twice. He did the double down. What's our response to this? I'm gonna drop the link early too. Just wanted to, before people exclaim about it. I just wanted to understand, like, what You know what? I don't even want to play this second clip, honestly, because this one more just funny. You know what? I'll let that one live. But I got a few clips up here, you know. But I gave my diatribe on what it is that we seeing, and this deserves a conversation to people that definitely dive into this stuff, you know. But I have several sentiments. I got several clips pulled up. Rainbow Kid. Now the other clip was just something else that was just funny to me. But I'm just trying to understand this, man. You know. Let me do this. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most.
Hey, good morning, bro. How you doing?
Good, good. What's good with you?
Man, it could be better.
Yo, what you hold on, let me make sure you got your mic in. It sounds like it's in.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, say something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go. It was
Yeah.
just loud. I turned it down a little bit on
All
this
right.
side. It sounds good now. Whew. What you think of that clip?
Just my initial reaction is my first time seeing it, bro. It like pissed me off. I ain't even gonna lie, because it's like, you know how hard in the paint I go for everybody. Literally, home of the brave includes everybody. So there was no point of swapping the lyrics up.
Yeah,
And it wasn't like this was a pride event. Then, oh, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? This was, like you said, NBA game. You know what I mean? And so it's like it's a weird conundrum, because on one hand, as Black Americans, we have this thing where we like to silently protest the anthem, and then on the other hand, it's like, well, this is a version of protesting the anthem, but I don't like that. Well, then who actually has the problem here? That's what I'm battling with, because my initial reaction is it pissed me off. You get what I mean? And I don't
Mhm.
know how to process it.
Yeah. It's like I get what you're saying. It's like cognitive dissonance, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you're offended about it, about him saying home, not you, but us, right?
Yeah.
Offended about him saying home of the gays. But then we've since maybe, and I'll give Colin Kaepernick credit just for sake of conversation. We haven't been standing up for the national anthem either, right?
Yeah.
So now, why be offended when he say that if we have been protesting it for the last 8 years or so, 10 years, you know, eight years, right? Spread about
Right.
8 years now. So
Right.
yeah, it's like two conflicting ideas happening at once.
Yeah, because it's like, I know, like, obviously we're spreading this out between like 10 years, but even today we got people who don't sit for the national anthem in our community, don't celebrate Independence Day, right? They say, a lot of people say that's not our Independence Day, you know what I mean? So it's a conundrum. But so if with that, I just fall back to myself, Hamp. Initially, I'm not with that. Even with all the excuses I can give, I'm still not with it, because if we're going to be patriotic Americans, brave already is inclusive to everyone.
Yeah, it don't speak about orientation
Right.
and who willing to fight and die, right?
Right.
Damn, yo, I seen that. I say, So, Truth, I have several clips up here, right?
Yeah.
You know, just about the government shutdown. And I was just looking at a few different things. I got a video. So I think Mrs. V sent this. I haven't even looked at it, right? But it seemed like it was a part of kind of what I wanted to learn about, be edified about, understand why we have such black people more specifically, but Latinos too, right? Have such a affinity for the Democratic Party at this time, you know?
Right.
I think that's a safe assertion for me to make, right? Just based on voting patterns.
100%.
And I'm really honestly trying to figure out why. Once I know Joe Biden writes the crime bill, I don't got no picks for him.
Why?
I just say again, sorry.
Why?
Well, because of what I know about the crime bill in a very superficial level, right? Stop and frisk, what that did, the discrepancy between prosecution of cocaine versus crack, all these things were happening. He old as hell, so he privy to how these things got in these neighborhoods, right? Not saying we had to use and abuse them, but we used and abused them. Nobody made us pick up those guns that was dropped off. Nobody made us sell crack, but it was right there, and you in a situation where your income level isn't where you wanted to be. You do what people think they need to do. And so when I look and I see that all of these people are a part of these problems, right? I'm like, I see you still. I don't care if you got a black friend. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what that sound like to me. Oh, I got a friend who's black. Shit don't matter. You are you. You still the same white boy.
So before you go into this clip,
Yeah.
a slight rebuttal on the crime bill.
Yeah, talking shit.
I need to remind you and the
Mhm.
entire panel that our parents and grandparents begged for that crime bill.
Yeah.
That's how out of control our demographic was. And again,
Right on time, right?
this is coming from a Libby leftist, bro.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, our own communities, our great aunts, uncles, our grandparents, they begged for it because our black youth at that particular time was out of control. And so now we ask a white guy who's in charge of the country to solve black issues, right? And then here's the problem, Hamp. It worked. That's the big thing that we as a community have to understand is that just like the National Guard in DC, like I had to admit, we have to admit that it worked.
Okay. That is actually, that's great edification. Right? Because that's something I think I knew, right? And I think I ignored, right? Essentially, is that it was requested, right? Pushed for by the CBC, right?
Yep.
As well. And now his name is on it. So now I'm blaming him, right? Essentially, and ignoring the stimulus, right? The stimuli that makes that crime bill happen.
Right. So, and to be mad at Bill Clinton and Joe Biden, you have to be mad at our own community simultaneously.
At the same time.
And not have one without the other. I say it all the time, bro. It's not either or. It's always at the same time, simultaneously, bro. And so, yeah, man, that's the big thing that, again, before you go into the next clip, that's the thing we got to understand. We got to ask ourselves, yes, some of these bills are a problem, but did it work? And then just to land my plane here, you know what led from that crime bill? We had the regulation that Republicans and Democrats passed in the late 90s that banned military style rifles. And that actually also led to an overall lower crime amongst all demographics until George Bush came in and they got rid of that policy. You see some of these things that escalate or come through because of one policy, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's interesting. So you saying the bill that came after, essentially, not you're saying, but you're citing, right?
Yeah. There was a motivation for it.
You couldn't have like AKs, SK. You couldn't have like ARs and stuff.
No, and as all my gun people know, semi-auto is semi-auto, meaning you pull the trigger once, you get one round, right? But the anti-assault rifle ban, even though we know they're not called assault rifles, that was banning those military style weapons. So yeah, you can only get the bolt action, the lever action, the pistols, right? The shotguns. You couldn't get those military style rifles
Okay.
unless you had a federal license.
Go ahead, Mr. Fantastic. I got to take this call real quick. Okay. What's up?
Yo, what's going on, man? Can you hear
What's
me?
goody? Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Uh, nah, I'm just coming in. What are y'all talking about? I heard it was something political.
Truce, can you update them for me?
That's,
Yeah, hey, fantastic. We was talking about the results of the crime bill and how even though our community views it bad, it actually worked, and our community was asking the federal government for it at that time. We were just going over the thoughts about that. Like, do you
oh,
agree or
okay. Yeah.
disagree that our community was like asking for it, asking for that bill?
No, yeah, they were definitely asking for it, but we proved the other day it was a Democratic push bill. The everything was cool and fine until Biden put his adjustments into it. So once he put his adjustments into it, it became partisan. So I think it's the bait and switch. So when the bill first came on hand and it had all these things, it was not as intense as it was until after Biden made the adjustments, and that's where you saw the divide start to happen. So you're correct when you're saying that the communities were asking for it because they had, I think, whatever you call the Black Preacher Coalition or whatever, sign off on it and all the different things, and major Black cities sign off. But I think that was before Biden made the adjustments that he made.
Didn't the NAACP sign off on that too? I think it was everybody and their mama signed off on that bill.
No, we just disproved that like a week ago. You really
Okay, I
literally
didn't see
looked
that.
at the bill, and yeah, the bill in its original form was accepted on both sides, but then once Biden put his stipulations in, that's when it became a distinct divide between Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And Mr. Fantastic, here was my thing, right? I don't know the difference between these two parties, B. And I'm not saying that to be willfully obtuse. I'm saying that every time one gets in, there's something that either gets fixed or gets broken. Then the other one act like they gotta come broke. They either break some shit and then they come back and act like they fix some shit. And then we love the stimulus package, but then we complaining about inflation. I'm just like, duh, right? Like that's how I be looking at this shit. So if you throw wild money, right, now you got more money in the economy essentially. And then the so the goods are in higher demand. What happened? Like it just economics. You know what I mean? But then the parties be acting like they done some heroic shit. Like you ain't Batman. Feel
Yeah,
me?
Yeah,
Now,
but
it's
now, Cruz, I
that's
do.
the advantage of
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just windmilling. Go ahead.
yeah that's the advantage of having an ignorant public, right? Of having very very low IQ voters. And like you said, what percentage of the population do you think understands economics at the base level? And what would you give it if you would just throw a wild number out there?
Say it one more time. Sorry.
What what percentage of the public do you think have a fundamental understanding of economics? If you had to guess,
Oh,
percentage wise.
uh, I mean, 95% of us live in paycheck to paycheck. And I think 50% of the reason why we live paycheck to paycheck is because we don't understand money, right? If I just try to use basic understanding, was it 90% of us live in paycheck to
Uh,
paycheck, right? And
yeah,
so I would say maybe if I'm being generous, 20% people really understand. If I'm being generous.
so 20%. I wouldn't argue, I wouldn't fight you over that. So let's say 20% of people understand economics, right? And
Mm.
who don't turn down free money, but who don't understand there is no free money, right? One of the biggest things I think that was lost were a lot of these colloquialisms that used to be said. There's no free lunch. You don't even hear that anymore, right? So being that you pretty much make that non-existence, and everybody really thinks that you can just money falls out the sky, and there's not going to be any repercussions down the road. This is how we get to these financial hardships that we're in now.
Mm.
yeah. So, one of the things, if you have time, I want you
Yep.
in the chat go down this rabbit hole. I want y'all to go look up some of the debates our politicians had back in the 50s and 60s when they were first being televised. You'll realize that the reason why there isn't much difference between Republican Democrats is because at least back then everybody had a shared fundamental understanding of what this country is and isn't. And so the difference was how we were going to move it forward. There wasn't a fundamental difference of the direction they want to move the country, right?
Mhm.
When we started having things like Nixon and them sending our jobs overseas, like opening up to China and those sort of issues, that's when we started really getting, I guess, class divide amongst the parties,
Okay.
right? And so what has happened on top of that is that we are 350 million plus, and we are way too big of a country to have two parties representing us now, right? And we haven't adapted and evolved, and our elected leaders that are responsible for educating the population to tell us that these are sort of the things that need to happen, dropped the ball and didn't do that either. Right.
Okay.
And so when you're seeing all these issues, you know, a lot of these issues come from the fact that we went from pure capitalism, and so everybody's trying to then swing the pendulum to pure socialism when we've always had a mixed economy, and it's been based off a balance of both.
Okay. A balance of the mixed economy.
Yeah, a balance of capitalism and socialism. We've never had a pure form of either.
So Tarus, this what scuffs my Timbs, right? We always talking about like we're capitalistic, right? And we seem to kind of push against giving to the people who need it, quote unquote. Right? We have a lot of bootstrap conversation. What do people actually mean by that? Like Mr. Fantastic say, hey, you take care of the elderly. I heard him say that. But the kids kind of get mixed into a place where I'm still trying to figure out because they're attached to parents who aren't elderly but aren't taking full responsibility or care of them. But then when you help the kids by proxy, you help the quote unquote lazy or the people that are not willing to work. You know, so like where do people fall? And then here's another thing that then I'm just having a brain, what's it called? Dump kinda, right? Motherfuckers always talking about how much money we owe to everybody, right? If you can't beat Debo up, it don't matter how much money he owe you. I'm
Sure.
like, who gives a fuck? You can't beat us up. Like, is it not that simple? Like,
See,
we import the most shit. Like, you see what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense not to do business with us either.
so the bootstrap.
Yeah, I'm saying that was two things. So yeah, they separate. Yeah.
The bootstrap used to be a somewhat hard talking point to argue against. And this is why I love the internet. This is why I love information. This is why I love free access to information.
Yeah.
Because then we find out recently, oh, wait, the majority of people on SNAP benefits are working. Oh, crap. There's a whole bunch of guys just like me who are active duty and needed to be those benefits. We needed to put our bootstraps on? Oh, we had our bootstraps on at the food stamp line.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? And so it's like by the
Cinderella
way,
Man.
the biggest demographic on food stamps are farmers. They literally have whole posters and everything to show farmers how to apply and get the SNAP benefits.
How ironic, right?
How ironic. Camp, did you know that we now import more food into this country than we export?
Really?
And we have for the last year. Yeah. You see, this is the problem. When we don't actually grow the food necessary to feed our own population. 40% of the food that the farmers grow is exported.
Wow. Yo,
right?
Tarus. No, because I have to interject quick because like I said, I'm learning. Yeah. So even like Ukraine, right? That whole thing. Yeah. But correct me if I'm wrong, isn't like a decently large portion of our grain come from there?
Yes.
And that's the thing. I'm like, damn, no wonder why we
top 3 in the world.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't just us; it's the world.
No, I got you, but you know, I'm just saying, like it just we got go ahead.
And now you see why Russia also one of the reasons why they want Ukraine because Russia don't like trade deals. They just like, yo, that's my shit now. You part of us now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how they do it.
Yeah, Soviet Union on back on the rise, right? Okay. Damn, there was something else I had. What you think, Cal? What's popping?
What's up? What's up? Hey, everybody.
What's good?
Um, I just came up because I know you had started off the show with the home of the gay thing. Um, Rainbow Kid, if you want to check the risky IG box, he sent the original video. He didn't say gay.
What'd he say?
He said brave.
So then, who sent me that?
It's that propaganda shit.
Callie, was that AI?
Mm. But he
Uh-oh.
said, yeah, check the box. Rainbow Kid
Callie,
just
I
sent
hope
it
I didn't
about 10
fall.
minutes ago.
Callie, I hope I didn't fall what everybody fell for with the welfare queen AI videos. You saw that crap?
Yeah, I
I
seen
hope I
that
didn't fall
shit.
for it. Uh-oh.
Same face, five, six different bodies with different
Mhm.
kids in the background. Complaining about the food stamps.
Yeah, we got to do some investigation down
Yeah,
there.
we gotta do some
Yeah,
fucking hold on, cause
we gotta.
Of our national anthem, performed this evening by American Idol top 10 finalists, Uche.
Milli Vanilli vibes.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly
That shoulder roll
we
though, cuz.
hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and much were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in the air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? The brave.
This is why every AI edited thing needs a watermark. I apologize for all my past freaking point because I have to, because that was every word I said was based off a false premise.
What the hell
You
was
feel
that?
me?
oh, you ain't see the original one I played, Mr. Fantastic. It said he said the home of the gays.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
fantastic. Like he swapped up the language to purposely say gay, but it was AI edited. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
And it was
brother, brother.
perfect. It was perfect though. Like the same octave, right? That's the word. Yeah, everything, bro. I fucking hate AI, son. I, I and I got ChatGPT pulled up right now. This is some
Nah,
bull.
man, you ain't seen nothing yet, but wait till these robots start popping out. Hey, you got about 10 more years.
Yo, so
all people can complain about now is just he was just super extra with the singing, but it was great.
yeah,
He didn't say nothing.
yeah.
That's it.
He's singing
I
though. He's
mean,
just singing his ass off.
that's just what black folk do with the national anthem anyway.
That's normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he was definitely singing his gay ass off. That's for sure, pause. But damn,
Thanks,
that's
Rainbow Kid.
Hey man, thanks for letting us go down that journey and getting the correct information.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because unfortunately, there are other channels or people who are just going to be like, I don't care. This is what it is anyway.
yeah, 100%.
And that's the point. That's the point. You get that first impression in your head. Everything else is gonna be hard to. It's gonna be hard to get past that because you're gonna be stuck on that, and the sentiment's gonna be the same. And no matter what nobody say, it ain't gonna. They, more than likely not. It's not gonna change your mind. Just like how that welfare queen shit stuck. That is us black people when the welfare queen was a white woman that Reagan swapped out for a black woman, and it stuck. It stuck for how old am I? 45.
6'7", man.
What that mean? I'm old. What that mean?
You ain't hip, Callie. But
No, I'm not.
like, yo, shit crazy, man. So, okay. Mr. Fantastic, are you there?
Yeah, what up?
Yo, so all right. So I got this up, man. Salute the AI, right? Hold on one second. Hold on. All right, so I just put this in the system. It said why the government shut down. Y'all probably can't see it. But it began on October 1st. It says the major sticking point in the negotiations was the extension of the health insurance subsidies under the Affordable Care Act, ACA. Democrats insisted that these subsidies be extended. Republicans and White House said the government could reopen first and picks a subsidy issue later. The shutdown also reflected a broader partisan dysfunction, disagreement over how much to spend on what and how many policy riders to attach to funding bills. In short, the government shutdown happened because Congress and White House failed to approve funding for federal agencies by the start of the fiscal year, and the impasse was deepened by the dispute over ACA subsidy extension and overall policy demands. Is that a fair summary of the main issue?
Yeah.
Okay, and so I looked at the people who were impacted. So this one says the impact was out of pay / out of work. At least 670,000 federal civilian employees were furloughed, i.e. sent home, because their jobs were deemed non-essential during the lapse in appropriations. Roughly 730,000 federal civilian employees continued to work and were deemed essential or accepted, but were working without pay. Some federal contractors, people working for private firms that contract with the government, were also affected. They may be furloughed or laid off, and they are not guaranteed back pay under the law. Some federal workers in states like Texas are allowed by state unemployment agencies to apply for unemployment benefits. They are considered laid off during the shutdown. So that's the people who were out of jobs, who lost benefits and benefit or had benefit disruptions. Recipients of Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, commonly known as food stamps, saw major disruptions. The federal government said October 27th that the November benefits would not be issued unless unless the funding deal was reached. Families and individuals who rely on those benefits, tens of millions of Americans, thus face uncertainty and had their benefits reduced / delayed. So it looks like about, what is that? That's 48 million Americans essentially, right? Because you got the couple million that were out of jobs or whatever the case is, and you got what, 44 million on SNAP, right? If I'm not mistaken. And then it doesn't have a quantifiable number for government contractors who may not recoup their cost, their lost wages.
That's a good estimate.
Okay. Damn. And it's all because they couldn't agree on another subsidy being like Medicaid, essentially.
So
No,
No, the
not Medicaid.
ACA.
Not Medicaid. So it's Obamacare. So they're trying to get the some extension or whatever for Obamacare. And then the other part they didn't want to mention, they was trying to extend it out healthcare services for non-citizens or illegals, right? So that's why the Republicans wouldn't sign off on it. I think they came to and this happened like overnight in the morning, somewhere around had to be like 3 a.m. or something in the morning, to where it was the 8 Democrats that were needed made an agreement to something to where they can move forward, but they still got a filibuster. So if it's not whatever, it still can be held up. But yeah, no, it wasn't. They gave you half of it, but not all of it. The biggest contention as to why they wouldn't do it is not just the Obamacare aspect of it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Pause.
What did I say?
They gave you half of it, not all of it.
Oh my God,
That's,
hell.
come
Really?
on, bro. God That was a reach, Ham. That was a
Yeah,
reach.
yeah.
That was a reach.
Hey, pause. I'm not. But yeah, but nah, that's the whole gist of it. I don't. They're trying to make this like trying to make it even. They choose, but it's not an even thing. It's not at all.
Okay. Even what even what? I'm a little bit
So
lost by that.
they're trying to place blame on the Republicans, saying the Republicans is not doing it. Again, the Republicans weren't holding up the bill. It was literally the at least eight um, um Democrats that were holding up this thing and turning it into the longest shutdown of all time, right? To the point of what got so bad was I don't think people understood. They started shutting down flights, right?
Yeah.
So they started shutting down flights and
Yeah.
TSA started walking out and things like that. So that doesn't just hurt, you know what I'm saying, the local
Yeah.
economy that starts to be global. So
Yeah.
this is pretty much why it was kind of forced to do that, because once the FAA starts saying, hey, we're gonna have to start cutting 4% of flights per day and keep upping it and upping it and upping it because of overworked workers and lack of workers and all these different things, that's when shit gets out of hand.
Okay. Now, Callie, Mr. Fantastic uses the terminology "holding it up," right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means that it didn't pass because there were people not agreeing with what was agreed upon or being written in, right? Essentially, is that what that means?
Mm-hmm.
Now, just because they were the 8 out of however many, were they fighting for something that was just? Because then, if so, I wouldn't frame it as holding it up. Just like when they used to do sit-ins and shit, and now you can't cross the street or whatever the case is. They might be holding up traffic, but also they should be holding up traffic, though. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right. I look at it as fighting for something just. I don't think it was just the illegals, but I do know that the GOP uses anything, or they do use anything to try and knock away anything that they can off of the ACA because they don't want it and they don't have a replacement. So they're just going to chip away at it as
Oh,
they've been
Callie,
doing.
Callie, Callie, don't confuse
Mm,
us anymore. We laymen.
okay,
GOP is Grand
right.
Old Party. That's the
Yeah,
Republicans.
Republicans. Yes.
All right, come on now. God damn it.
Sorry.
Yeah, I ain't you or Mr. Fantastic or Taruf now. Come on.
But yeah, Republicans have been trying to chip away and have been relatively successful through the Supreme Court, I would say, as far as trying to get rid of the Obamacare the best way that they can without having to actually come up with an alternative plan and actually voting on it, because they know if they come up with an alternative and it sucks, their own constituents are not going to be for it because they benefit from Obamacare too.
Oh,
So, can I ask a question? First off, what's going on, panel? What's happening,
what's
him?
going on now?
Mr.
Creator,
Fan-
hold on. I'm trying to get edification, so I need the question without context, just the question.
So, the question would be, if they holding up, right? What again? Let's kind of, I guess, nail in on or dial in on what they actually holding up, right? Would that be a benefit to us, or would that be a detriment to us, even if they did pass it, right? And then my last question would be, what should we do, right? Or what could we do to either move things along or maybe assist instead of just discussing it? What can we do? So my first is, will this help us out or will it be a detriment, right? And right now it's a pause, means nothing's happening. And while it's paused, what could we do to either move along or do some type of change?
I don't have the answer for that. I believe that once you go on ahead and you pass something, it's hard to get that shit reversed. So I understand the sentiment on
Or the
on them
pushback.
wanting to hold right, wanting to push back because once
Yeah.
it's done, especially while they don't have a majority in the
Oh,
Congress right now.
so this what I'm seeing, right, Callie? Right?
Hmm.
I'm looking for edification. So I might need to be the only one asking questions because y'all know enough. I don't know enough. So look at this, right? I have private insurance. Steph,
Hmm.
what up, baby? I have private insurance,
What
right?
up, though?
What's good?
What up, though?
So
Hmm.
what I experienced is the premiums just went crazy. Like, and I'm taking because I was looking through, right? Because I just gotta I just keep looking at it just 'cause I'm trying to find the best, and the premium
Mm-hmm.
just went up probably 20%,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's re-enrollment right now too for a lot of different ones. Like
Yeah.
20%, which is substantial. I think I already shared this, so I can share it. I looked at it. I think mine is almost like $1,500 a month, right? Because there's so many people,
Mm-hmm.
and we have the PPO plan where you have the copay and the low deductible because there's so many
Mm-hmm.
kids. You don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of shit going on, right? So I say I'd rather pay on the front end, right? Because if anything were to hit the fan, I know I don't have any worries on the back end, right? So I'm seeing that. And so now if Obamacare did it get dissolved or what happened with it specifically?
No, they just been chipping
Nothing.
away at it in different ways, like
Oh, nothing.
the individual man, like just over time or whatever, since it's been passed, they've been trying to chip away at it.
Okay.
The
Um,
only thing I think that's been officially changed is no longer mandatory. I think because at one point in time, you remember you was getting penalized for it. So
yeah,
I think they got rid
for
of
the
that.
individual mandate,
Yeah,
hmm
I think
which
they
helps
got
fund
rid
the
of that.
actual program
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and
and
that's
everything.
trash though. You can't force me to get medical insurance if I don't. You know what I mean? That's dumb.
Yeah, yeah. I think what it does though is people because here's the interesting about that comment, and then I want to get selling and truth. So I don't know if you had something on this, right?
yeah,
The interesting about that comment though, Mr. Fantastic, is that they don't turn you away at the ER either. So people are taking advantage. Okay, you don't have to have health insurance, right? But then you go to the ER, and then who pays those doctors and shit? So at least if everybody had a level of health care, those doctors, those hospitals, etc., would be covered to an extent. So it's
Yeah, but
like a,
what throws
you know what I'm
what
saying?
throws that whole what throws the argument out of the window, him?
Yeah, talking shit.
If you're gonna make it allowable for illegals, I don't give a damn about Americans getting the minority of
uh,
Americans getting the same thing. If you're gonna
this
fight
has
to
to
make
be
it, hold on,
addressed.
brother, I didn't cut you off. I didn't say nothing while nobody was talking, bro. I'm really not trying to argue today. I'm on
And,
vacation.
but you're saying wrong
Uh,
thing, bro.
listen,
Again,
like I
No,
said,
you're
bro,
saying the right thing.
Hold on, y'all.
I'm,
Hold on,
I'm
hold on.
definitely saying the right thing.
Let's keep it here. Let's keep it here. Listen, everybody is here because I don't know shit, not because y'all don't know shit. You see what I'm saying? So y'all know shit. That's why I need y'all up here. But I don't want y'all to go back and forth with each other until
Yeah,
we get to
so
that
yeah,
point.
yeah. So just like I said, man, if it's okay for illegals and you're fighting, the American senators and congressmen are fighting to make healthcare available to non-tax-paying illegals. It shouldn't matter that if a onesie twosies of Americans would be the minority of Americans get the same benefit. So that's why you can't make that argument when you have one side of the aisle that's arguing for the taxpayers to foot the bill for people that shouldn't be here in the first place.
Okay, that is a piece of information I was missing when I made mine because mine is just a straight like I can see people taking advantage of that fact, and we see it often in the emergency room. But that part makes my sentiment a little bit different. Go ahead, Ruth.
hemp,
Go ahead.
because everybody seems, or sometimes the chat seems to have a problem with my factual information, including the panel.
Okay.
Can you do me a favor and
Mhm.
ask AI, are illegals eligible for ACA subsidies?
The answer would be yes.
Eagles eligible for ACA subsidy.
Yep.
All right, let me share my screen, and then we get my brother Cell in here. Somebody got so you got a little background. You got a fan blowing or something? Some
Yeah, it
type
might
of
be me. Hold on.
yeah, it sounds like a fan or a dryer. Or
Uh
something.
oh. Uh oh. What's that say, chat?
So I'm gonna read it out. It says so. My question is exact, right? I literally typed in what he asked me to. Y'all can see it now, right?
Yep, it says no undocumented illegals are not eligible for Affordable Care Act marketplace coverage or subsidies. Here how it breaks down. Not eligible. Buy insurance through the federal or state ACA marketplaces. Receive premium tax credits, cost sharing reductions, enroll in Medicaid, CHIP, except for emergency medical services in some cases. Eligible, lawfully present immigrants, e.g., green card holders, refugees, DACA recipients, if policies allow, etc., can buy marketplace plans and qualify for subsidies if they meet income requirements. And stop, I don't need to read anymore right there. As a matter of fact, you can just keep that up on the screen. That right there proves your argument wrong, and I'll tell you why. So you have this thing called Medi-Cal. You have this thing called in the state of Texas. You have this thing called emergency relief. You have these things, all of these, the Biden subsidies, the loopholes through Medi-Cal, through California, that has allowed these illegals to partake in getting medical insurance and getting these subsidies. Because you have to look at it like this: when an illegal goes to the emergency room and they can't pay for it, who fronts the bill?
We do.
Exactly. The bill gets fronted through reimbursement because they get paid through American payers' tax dollars, right? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So then by that measure, they do get these things. Also, if you want to pull out facts, let's go ahead and look up facts. Look up 8 U.S. Code 1611. Go look at the Personal Responsibility and Work Orders Act
Which
of
one?
1990s.
Which one, sir?
8 U.S. Code 1611.
Are you saying 8, like the number 8?
Yes, 8 USC 1611.
How did you just read
No.
exactly the facts and still say no? That's incorrect. First
Easy.
off, again,
Easy. Hold on, wait. I wasn't done.
No, Medi-Cal
I
is
wasn't done.
Medicaid,
Hey, real
right?
quick. Let me do this.
Hold on, wait. Stop.
Let me do this. Let me do this real quick. So
Sure.
here's what I heard. Right? They make exceptions for medical emergency.
Exactly.
That was what I was addressing. Remember when I was talking to Miss Fantastic? Like literally, people will go to the emergency room because they don't turn you away, even though they don't have insurance. See, that's what I was putting together. You see?
There you go. So what they was doing,
American citizens do that as well because they
no,
can't
stop.
afford healthcare.
No,
you
stop.
stop.
No,
you
stop. No, you're blending
American
up. Stop.
citizens also
No.
do the emergency
Stop.
because
Stop.
That's what I was talking
Taros.
about.
I
That's
got
what I
you.
was talking
We got that. Taros. We got
We're
that.
talking about
Taros.
the
We got that.
ACA
We're talking.
subsidies
Really
Got
is
you.
moving the goalposts
and about the
talking
I'm not
shutdown for
moving.
the
I'm not
bill.
moving. I'm not
Hey
moving the goalposts.
guys.
Yes, you are.
Hey,
No, I'm
listen. Here's
You are.
here's where
I'm not.
here's
You
my
are.
I'm not.
request. Hold on, y'all.
You are.
Here's my request.
Oh, okay.
Right? Whether people admit it like me or not, they are not enthralled in this. You guys are enthralled. You guys take the time to understand this shit, right? So here's what I'm asking is that y'all take the time to just bring it down a bit so the people like me who aren't versed can learn. Because if y'all go back and forth, now it's just fun, but I don't know how much value we get out of it.
So
Sweet.
I agree. So the original premise was the subsidies.
Well, it
of
wasn't your turn to
ACA.
talk. You already made your point. It wasn't your turn to talk.
Sorry, man. I'm talking now. So you got.
I got you, but it wasn't your turn to
So
talk.
original
It was.
premise was the
It wasn't.
ACA. So the original premise was the ACA
man.
subsidies
It's the bullshit I be talking
over the
about.
government shutdown. Republicans try to claim that illegal immigrants were eligible for subsidy for the ACA subsidies. That is completely incorrect.
Okay,
We
cool.
just read that's incorrect. For a
Sweet.
whole month now, that's been incorrect. So ACA subsidies is only for legal migrants and American citizens.
Got you, but here's the problem. You have to introduce the California loophole, which they took advantage of, which gave illegal aliens
the
access.
state
Again,
level,
you're talking
not federal. That is the state level,
you're
not
talking
federal.
while I'm
You gotta-
talking.
you gotta
You're
let
talking
the-
while I'm
you gotta let the
talking.
reply
You're
come
talking while I'm talking.
You gotta
Again,
let the reply come
So-
out, and then you can rebut at the end.
All right.
cool. You're talking while I'm talking. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, pull up 8 U.S. Code 1611. Share your screen, please, because this is all a process.
This one.
Yeah, but you know what? It'll be better if we get it straight directly from the source. We don't have to use. We can use Cornell law. I'll just share my screen so we can all see this
Legal
together.
Information Institute here.
Not
This
eligible.
gonna work? Oh yeah, Cornell law right here. Well,
Yeah, click. All right, so let's all read together. A, in general, notwithstanding any other provision of law and except as provided in subsection B, an alien who was not a qualified alien as defined in section 1641 of this title is not eligible for any federal public benefit. So we all agree that illegal aliens cannot get access to federal public benefit, right?
Yes.
Cool. Now go down to exceptions. Read the first thing it says. Subsection A shall not apply with respect of the following federal public benefits. What does that mean?
that means that means that section A is void if
Thank
the
you.
exceptions exist.
Thank you. So now let's read. Let's click on right. Go back up a little bit, Hamp. Click right there where it says federal public benefit so we can all understand exactly what it is. Except as provided in paragraph 2, for purposes of this chapter, and the term federal public benefit means any grant, contract, loan, professional license, or commercial license provided by an agency of the United States or by appropriated funds of the United States, and B, any retirement, welfare, health, disability, public or assisted housing, post-secondary education, food assistance, unemployment benefit, or any other similar benefit for which payments or assistance are provided to an individual, household, or family eligibility unit by an agency of the United States or appropriated funds of the United States. Now let's go back, because apparently y'all don't know how to fucking read. So let's go down. Medical assistance under Title 19 of the Social Security Act, 42 U.S. Code 1396. Let's go down a little bit more. Let's go to Section B, short-term, non-cash, in-kind emergency disaster relief. Let's go down to Section C, public health assistance, not including any assistance under Title 19 of the Social Security Act for immunizations with respect for immunizable diseases and for testing and treatment of symptoms of communicable diseases, whether or not such symptoms are caused by communicable disease. D, program services or assistance such as soup kitchens, crisis counseling, intervention, short-term shelter specified by the Attorney General in the Attorney General's sole and unreviewable discretion after the consultation with appropriate federal agencies and departments. Now, when you look at something called Medi-Cal and you pay attention to how it is that by the Biden loopholes through ACA, they were specifically telling NGOs to tell these illegal aliens to come in and say that they was seeking asylum or there was refugees. When the illegal alien goes to the emergency room, they say that they are in dire need of emergency assistance because they are going through a tragedy. When a pregnant illegal alien walks into the emergency room, HAMP, I'm asking you, when that pregnant woman walks in, she goes into labor in the emergency room, what does the hospital do, or what does the emergency room do?
They deliver that baby. They take care of her.
Is that baby now a 14th Amendment baby?
Yes.
Does that baby is now United States citizens? Does that parent have now a way of access to benefits by way of that baby?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So again, because back in 2008, when Obama was voted into the United States presidency, and up until the point where he started deporting over 3 million illegals, one of the biggest constituencies that they had when he came out with Obamacare is that Obamacare specifically targeted people who was coming into the country illegally, and they gave them access to benefits by way of the 14th Amendment. Oh, you think I don't know? Don't worry. I still got the clip when Nancy Pelosi stood up there specifically in front of the United States of America and said, we don't know what's in the bill and you have to pass it just to read it. And just like Obama has been saying for years, you can keep your healthcare provider, you can keep your insurance if you want to. You're not going to get taxed. That was wrong. It was all a lie. Everything everyone has been saying about Obamacare since its inception has been wrong. And when it comes to illegal aliens, they specifically have gained access to it. By the way, I've already done the whole entire case study on it. And if you allow me to share my screen.
Well, so is this directly related to what you're speaking of now?
Absolutely.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we get a full, you know what I mean, response.
Yeah, you're good.
To it.
You're
okay.
good.
Cause I'm just listening.
Oh no, you're good. I got you. So you can go ahead and pull the screen up.
Babbling, that's what he's doing.
It's babbling, but it's the truth. You just have to sit through it. Undocumented immigrants have utilized food stamps, Medicaid, and housing assistance through legal exceptions and state programs, while the Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act of 1996, brought forth by Bill Clinton, generally restricts undocumented immigrants from accessing federal means tested benefits like SNAP, Medicaid, and housing assistance. Numerous exceptions, state-funded programs, and mixed status households rules have enabled their utilization because of mixed status households, because of state-funded programs, which, by the way, we already read that they don't get this through the federal level, they get it through the state, because of Medi-Cal, because of Chicago, because of Michigan, because of New York, because of Texas, where they was busting in all of these illegals all throughout the state, all throughout the country. They have been utilizing, especially through Medi-Cal and through Chicago. They were the central hubs for illegals to get health care and to get assistance. As they have already admitted, a senator from Chicago, Illinois, is on record and tape saying that they lied about the numbers so that these illegals could get assistance. So again, case in point, food stamps. Federal law under PRWORA bars undocumented immigrants from SNAP eligibility, but states have stepped in with their own funding, and mixed status households allow indirect access. This has resulted in documented utilization. State-funded program assistance. 6 states, California, Connecticut, Illinois, Maine, Minnesota, and Washington, provide state-funded nutrition assistance to low-income immigrants ineligible for federal SNAP, including undocumented individuals, also known as illegal aliens, mixed status households, undocumented immigrants can receive SNAP benefits on behalf of eligible U.S.-born children in their households, as permitted by federal SNAP Rules 7 U.S. Code 2011. Data from the 2022 Survey of Income and Program Participation, also known as SIP, shows that illegal immigrant households have statistically higher SNAP usage rates than U.S.-born households, with 59.4% of such households using at least one major welfare program. Let's go down to recent federal changes confirmed prior utilization. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act adds new restrictions to SNAP's non-citizen eligibility, implying that border access existed before its passage. When we go down to Medicaid, and again, if y'all want to stop me, y'all can whenever y'all want to, because this has been going on for quite some time that they have been doing this. Hence why it is that they have been specifically targeting what it is that Biden and Harris did. I'm done. Go ahead.
Let's go.
So again,
Let's go. Callie, then Truce. I'm sure you want to go. And then we got Will's fact checker up here as well. Should be interesting. Go ahead, Cal.
yeah. So he just got finished talking about all the state benefits. We were talking about federal. The end.
The main point of contention was, do illegals get access to benefits?
No, it wasn't. We were talking about federal, and we're talking about the ACA.
Got you, but I got you, but I got you. We can, like I said, in 8 U.S. Code 1611, within the first verse section, it says they do not have access to federal public benefits. But then you read down to exceptions, they do. So by way of the state. So now the question still remains: do illegals have access to benefits?
Yes.
Willie, you read it. Willie, you read it yourself. The only way they even possibly had that is if they had a kid. Because if they don't have a baby, if they don't have
not.
You
sure?
Because if they don't have
you
the
sure?
Let him reply. Let him reply. Go ahead,
Didn't you just read it? That the mixed status household, Willie, that's what it's called, right?
That's
mixed
one
status,
of the ways.
Right. So one of the ways they got the federal benefits was not them being having access. It's on behalf of the child, on behalf of the baby. And on top of that, what you named were state-funded programs. That is not, Willie, that is completely separate from the ACA.
No, that's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Bro, oh my God, dog.
No, it's not.
You are loud and wrong.
Loud and wrong. Okay, you
are
want more proof?
No, well, let me do this. Let me do this real quick, because I know Arnold looked like he on his way to work. So we got a couple rebuttals. Will's fact checker, what's popping?
What's good, y'all?
What's goody?
Yeah, so Will, they cover the American in that woman's belly. They cover emergencies. So to say, hey, if it's a Mexican that got shot or stabbed, keep them outside the hospital, let them die. That's what Will is a proponent of. When they say mixed,
I can barely hear what he's saying.
They don't cover the parent. They don't cover the parent. They cover the American citizens in the house or the legal permanent residents. You're being facetious in the way you're presenting this argument.
So if an illegal gets shot and they go to the emergency room, does the illegal get care?
Yes, hospitals take care of people that.
Stop.
That
okay, so the illegal can't pay for their own emergency care. So
I'm saying that they get a bill. They get a bill.
So if the illegal, okay, but I get you that they get the bill. But here's the thing: they can't pay the bill, so the hospital can then file for reimbursement, right?
So what are you saying should happen in that situation?
No, you're asking. You said you the fact checker.
No,
we're not talking about shoulda, coulda, woulda. No,
bro.
nigga, you're talking about shoulda. No, you're talking about shoulda, coulda. We're talking about fact.
You playing dumb, bro.
We're talking about fact.
On my mama, you playing dumb.
On your mama, you're bullshitting. I'm gonna tell you why. So again,
what's the alternative, Will?
Fuck the alternative. We're talking about the fact.
All right.
When they file for reimbursement, who pays that?
Well, the truth is, if the alternative is that the people will die or the baby will not be born if they don't take those people in, Arnold, that would be the alternative.
But what's the fact? The fact is that we don't turn nobody away, right?
Yes.
And they can't pay for the bill even if they do get the bill, right?
Yep.
So when they file for reimbursement, who pays for the bill?
We do.
Ain't that a bitch? So I'm not dealing with shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Hold on.
I'm saying that we talking about that person has to apply for the Medicaid in their state, right? And if they qualify because it was an emergency, then the bill gets paid through that exemption. But you acting like they get
exemption
to get everyday doctor care. It's not the same.
Okay, but you know what means? You know what means tested mean, right?
It's not the same.
You know what means tested is, right?
I'm saying.
No, stop. You said you the fact checker. You know what? Wait, stop. You know what means tested is, right?
Yeah, I'm not listening to nothing you say no more.
Okay, cool. Don't listen. So means tested. This is one of the big contentions when it came down to Medi-Cal. Medi-Cal specifically utilized means tested so they can be able to test all of these illegal aliens. What they was doing was they was running up the bill for the doctors to get paid. Why do you think United Healthcare went up by 1,114% in its stock market since Obamacare came into fruition?
I
They were
know why.
specifically
Because
I'm trying to figure
no,
out what the problem
no.
is.
United.
What's the
Hold
problem?
on. No, I can
What's the
tell you
problem?
why.
I'm
I can
listening.
tell you why. Is because United Healthcare processes all of the administrative costs for those claims with through the ACA. That's why
There you
they
go.
got
Finally, we
business.
got somebody who knows what she's
They
talking
got
about.
they got business from the ACA.
Correct. And by way of that ACA and the Biden loopholes that was done by executive process by Biden Harris when he was in the office of presidency, those loopholes allowed them to just launder in money. This is what this was all about because they need a new voter base.
Yeah, no,
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 because
okay,
it's not. It's not
hold on,
about illegal aliens. It's for everybody.
Yeah, the problem
you
Everybody.
arguing, you
the
arguing
problem
the wrong
is
Medicare.
thing. You
You know,
arguing the wrong thing,
yes,
right?
yes.
So,
United Healthcare also processed the Medicare shit too.
yes, they
So
do.
so what I'm saying is that it didn't go up on all the stocks because of the illegals or no shit like that. It's because they got the business of every fucking body
Yeah.
processing those claims and shit like that. They do
But
the
Callie,
admin shit for the government.
but Callie, here's the thing. As an American, let's say I'm uninsured, right? Let's say I end up going to the hospital. I don't have any type of insurance whatsoever. By way of ACA, the whole entire plan, which the Democrats is on record admitting to, that the Obamacare was specifically designed to fuck up. What it was made for is that the healthy young American would pay for the sick elderly or the illegal. That's what it was specifically designed for. They're on
No, it
tape
wasn't.
saying they're on
No, it
tape saying
wasn't.
they're on tape
No,
saying
it
this.
was not.
They're
It
on
was
tape
not.
saying
Because you know why? That whole emergency room shit was going on long before the goddamn ACA. So no, the ACA was not
that's
specifically for that
got you.
shit.
But here's the problem
right.
though.
Hey,
So wait,
right,
stop. Here's the problem. But how long have
right.
we been dealing with immigration issues?
For at least 40 years.
Okay, so when Obamacare, which was originally evolved from Romney, you know what Romney Care is, right? The Bronze Plan. You heard about that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so
That's where we got the individual mandate shit from.
there you go. All of this was originally derived from that, but they was dealing with the DACA problem and all this, that, and the other one. Obama was in office, so Obama even said those. Y'all remember that national address when he walked up to the podium? He said, "People who have been here for 5 years will work with you with an expedient pathway to citizenship." Y'all remember that?
It was 10, but yeah.
Okay, this was one of the ways. This is what the Republicans specifically had a problem with when it came to Obamacare because no one could read the bill. After it got passed, they read the bill and they said, "What the hell is this? You're doing this for illegals." Remember, Obama was on stage when he was. Remember, Obama was on stage when he was talking about this, and it was people in the crowd specifically called him out, said it's for illegals. This is old news.
No, it's not for illegals specifically. He did not design this bill for illegals specifically because there's been a problem with the healthcare system for decades now with the uninsured because employers were not offering healthcare to people and they were utilizing the emergency room to go on ahead and get healthcare after some shit was getting ready to fall off. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Instead of being able to have access to preventative care.
Right. So y'all know what healthcare system we had prior to Obamacare, right?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was private and public.
It was high
Private
risk.
and public.
High risk pools, right? With high risk pools, if you was an illegal alien or undocumented citizen, could you walk into an emergency room?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, when you walk into an emergency room, could that emergency room file for reimbursement?
Yes.
Yes,
Reimbursement
they've
from
always
who?
they've
Got
always
you.
got
Okay.
reimbursed.
They,
But
they,
here's
they
the- but here's
filed
the-
for reimbursement and they also passed the cost on to the insured people.
There you go. So what high risk pools and Obamacare did was pretty much no difference. The only difference was is that the Obamacare monopolized the whole entire health insurance market. What it did was it taxed people who did not have health insurance, especially if you was on your own private insurance. If you didn't have Obamacare, they taxed you if for every month that you didn't have health insurance. This was
Not
all
if-
money.
Wait, go back. What did you just say? You said
So
even if
if
they
you-
had their
if
own
you-
private insurance?
No. That was a
Okay.
Freudian slip. So if they had their own insurance, then they were straight. But if they didn't have no insurance, then by the end of the year, for every month that you did not have insurance, you was getting taxed out the ass.
Yeah.
That's the
Yes,
way it
to
was
help
designed.
fund the program.
Yes,
the
fund. But
individual
wait,
mandate.
but stop. Here's the thing. So, helping fund the program, if this was specifically set up to help only Americans, we can deal with that issue. But if you take away everything that the ACA subsidies provided towards the illegal aliens, then no one probably would have had a problem with it, other than the fact that their premiums was already spiking up. So there's nothing new. When I say that this was specifically designed and put in, that there were sections added for the illegals, that's a lot. That's the biggest chunk that a lot of people had a problem with.
All right,
Yeah.
So
let,
if
Hey,
you're
Will.
counting, if
Hey,
you're
Tarun,
counting
let,
people
right, all
as
right, all right.
illegals,
hey,
if you're
It's
counting
hey,
documented people
I'm
as
not. I'm not
illegals, then
counting
we're
it.
not getting enough out
yes,
of
you
this.
are.
We're not getting enough out of this back and forth right now. Okay, for people that don't know, like myself, I'm not getting enough out of it. So let me get what's up, Tiff. Let me get Taruz, and then let me get Arnold, and I want because Arnold was kind of Callie and Arnold were kind of talking at the same time, but Callie's microphone was louder, so I need to hear what Taruz got to say about this, and then what Arnold got to say about it, uninterrupted, and then we'll see if Creator got something. And Tiff, go ahead, Taruz.
Okay, so first and foremost, this is one of the underlying problems when we have these sort of conversations is the ability to stay on topic. We are talking about federal subsidies. An illegal migrant cannot participate in federal subsidies because they cannot buy insurance, right? So inherently, the subsidies aren't for them. They can't be for them. Second off, we all are grown ass people, so we all should be aware of how insurance works. The larger your pool, the lower the overall cost is, your premiums, right? One of the reasons the ACA was passed back in 09 and 2010 was because our premiums from the old system was skyrocketing. Did the ACA fix that problem? No. Did it slow the price gouging down? Absolutely. And that was meant to be built on over time so that the healthcare system could eventually have what we were supposed to have, which was the public or the private option. Because the big contention, Willie, correct me if I'm wrong, was Obama didn't want the ACA to have a private option like the
Correct.
Republican. They wanted to keep the private option. It
Correct.
was right. So it was meant to be built up so that we can eventually have that system. But instead, we kept on having politicians just trying to rip apart the ACA instead of building on it. On top of that, we have to remember, again, it is based on a large pool. So the more people you have on the insurance, the bigger. For example, Willie, in Germany, the reason why their insurance pool is typically lower is because everybody is required to be on insurance. Guess what that means? Nobody has to pay anything for an emergency room visit. Nobody has to pay anything for pregnancy. Nobody has to pay anything for a lot of major healthcare things.
Is that their public option, or do they still have that private option?
They actually have still a private option if you want to, but the public, everybody pays into it, whether or not you're a student or a teacher or whatever, right? That way everybody has the healthcare. But guess what happens, Creator and Willie? When you take away those subsidies, all of our premiums go sky high. And so guess what happens? Less people are in that pool, making everybody's insurance go up.
So we're not actuaries, right? We not putting these statistics together and putting these sciences together. We're not necessarily doing. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, for sure.
It's just like Canada. And if you got people from Canada, they saying, they got healthcare and whatnot, they can go to healthcare, but it's not the greatest because it's like drinking from the public water fountain, if you will. Right? You can go, you can use it. It's just not going to be the best. So the private option is there. And then with the private option, I think we all read exceptions. That's just what I wanted to comment. And I kind of further read, it was so many exceptions that it's like you damn near wouldn't stop reading. In other words, they trying to make it, to me, for just me, I'm just looking at it, it looked like we ran into these issues. And as we ran into these issues, we had to mold a solution right now. Y'all just came up with it. If somebody got shot, right, and they're undocumented immigrant, but they got shot and we need to treat them, right? If we in a certain area, not saying that we in an area where it's just us black people. Let's say that it's in an area that's predominantly Nigerian, right? That don't mean that they here legally or illegally, right? They still need to be serviced, and somebody got to pay that bill. So I'm thinking if somebody got to pay that bill, I think who implemented I think it was Biden them, but they implemented no more. We're not going to report it. If you owe us, we're not going to report that bill on your credit. So now if I'm not going to report that bill on your credit, me as the doctor, it's looking like I can sue you, but I can't let the world know that you owe me now. I got to figure out a way to get these revenues back, or we literally would not have a business. How am I going to pay and keep my people if there's not some type of safeguard in place for me to at least dip in and take care of some of these illegals, if you will. And we all thinking when we say illegal immigrants, all immigrants ain't Hispanic. I just want to kind of get that clear. We got the Haitians immigrants, we got the African immigrants, we got South American immigrants, you got immigrants all over, and they all can manipulate those exceptions if you in what we say racism. Systematic racism is not deliberate or it's deliberate, but it's not in your face. So if these people are in a system and they know what my man's just read, this U.S. code, then they will utilize it. However, but it is there. I think
Brother, we losing your audio.
So, Willie and Creator, I want to hit you guys with a different perspective because you guys are actually onto something, but bear with me for a little bit here. When you're talking, when we're inherently talking about undocumented migrants or illegals, however you prefer to describe them, Willie, I think you would agree with me, Creator, you too. If you and I tried to sue an illegal, we're probably not going to get our money back anyway.
No, we're not.
Right. But guess what? One of the most leading things in bankruptcy for Americans, medical debt. So we end up having
the
to pay
healthcare
it
debt.
Anyway. Yeah, healthcare debt, medical debt. We end up having to pay it anyway. So one of the reasons that policy got passed is to remove the red tape that actually costs us so much money to go through a process we're never going to recuperate from.
Mm-hmm.
That's the perspective.
I get what you're
saying. Arnold go.
Did
Arnold go, guys?
No, he can go.
Arnold, what's good?
Yeah. So
okay, what's good? I'm gonna read the super chats in a minute. Go ahead, Arnold.
Yeah, so I'm saying that the preface is right that the conservatives are against the illegals in general. So anything that has to interface with illegals, they are against it. That's how we start this conversation. So we understand that those same illegals have to meet an income test to qualify for the emergency bill to be paid. Right? It's not like they just show up and that bill is paid. They have to go through the county building just like everybody else to get that government emergency assistance. We understand that. So like when you're doing it, to frame it like, oh, they get the same thing we get. And you know it's not the same. It's not even close to the same.
You're right. They're not getting the same thing we get because they was getting better. In Chicago, they was getting total free health care. Go ahead, Hamp. I put a video in the back. You can go ahead and play it. It's only like 2-3 minutes long. If you want to.
Okay, I'm gonna play it. Tiff, what's goody?
What's going on here? I'm not going to be up here long because this is one of these subjects that to see poor people argue with other poor people about other poor people agitates my soul. The average American pays $9 a year into a healthcare system. The healthcare system is broken because they want it to be broken. All other major established countries have free healthcare systems. If you right now look at the subsidies that we pay to Israel, we pay for their healthcare system and their universal college system. But we want to argue about $8 of insurance and $36 worth of food stamps. If you feel like you are a good person because you want to argue about a person showing up at an emergency room, getting services, you have a heart issue and I don't want to engage with you. If you as an American go to Europe right now and get harmed, guess what happens? You get to get the same care, citizen or not, because some things are just a human basic right. If we had systems that were not for profit, then the things that we have right now would not be going on. The issue with the Democrats caving is what Will was saying and what Terus was saying is absolutely right. The bigger the pool, the cheaper it is. Everybody here goes to Walmart or Costco for better prices. And it's not because the product is inferior. You have more people purchasing, so they're able to lower the cost. It's the same thing when you have a universal health code system. And we know that it works because guess what? Your senators and everybody in government, they have universal health care systems. You know what else they have? A universal income. So as they are not working, they are still being paid. So while you up here arguing, maybe go look at what your senators and congressmen have as in health care and work and salary guarantees, and wonder why the average American doesn't have it.
None
It
of
is
that
what it
was
is.
went towards the
So
topic.
now, Will, you can argue back and forth again. If you want to argue about a sick
Oh
person,
no,
again,
you're not talking to me because you said you're talking about poor people. I'm not poor.
Yeah, you ain't talking to me either.
You damn sure ain't talking to me.
right?
So
It's
you
because
can
y'all
move your
got as much
conversation somewhere
money
else.
as a trillionaire. Because you got
I don't need to have more money than a trillionaire. I just
wealth.
have more money than the average
Wealth
person.
is relative. So if you have more
That's
than the
cool.
average, it doesn't make you wealthy.
But you said you was directing your
64%
conversation at poor
of
people.
Americans
Direct
live
your
check
conversation
to check.
somewhere else. It ain't me.
64% of Americans live check to check
Got
because
you.
And it
it
ain't us.
I'm not.
That's
I
what
ain't
we
the
saying.
64. I ain't part of 64%.
an average increase because the
That's fine.
wealth of millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires have exceeded, and the average laborer has not had more than a 25% increase over the past 40 years.
I'm not a
Yeah,
laborer.
It goes back,
your
but
bonnet
I'm not a laborer.
your
reason
bonnet might be
Not
blocking your
labor.
logic,
the
right?
issues that we
So
do
yeah,
is
but your
because
bonnet
it's
is blocking your
made
logic.
on
You're here
purpose.
to
It's
virtue signal,
made
and we has
on,
nothing to do with
no,
the
I'm not
conversation.
virtue signaling.
You
I'm
are. It
showing
has
that if
nothing to do
you're
with the
going to argue
conversation.
about poor
It
people
has
not
nothing to do
being
with the conversation.
serving,
And neither
you're
does
a
her
horrible
bonnet.
person.
Her
You're
bonnet
a
has everything to do
horrible
with the
person.
conversation.
No, it
You want
doesn't.
to
Yes, it
argue
does.
about somebody
It
going to the
doesn't.
emergency
Absolutely, it
room,
does.
and you
No,
are
it
a
doesn't.
I'll
horrible
get in there
Absolutely.
person.
whenever y'all get a
Security.
chance.
Come on, Will.
Security.
I'm gonna
You're a
stop it in a
horrible
second. I'm
person.
just trying to understand
That
now.
ain't
Now,
disrespect. She came
so
up
what are
here
we?
calling people poor. What the hell?
Well,
That
what
ain't
what are we?
disrespect.
So what are we doing, man? We trying to help people that don't have the information or what? Because so here's what I'm listening to. We're saying, so Tiff, in terms of your sentiment, are you saying that these monies that are being spent, regardless of who they're being spent on, if they're there to help people, then that's all that should matter?
That's it. We're talking about
Okay.
sick people. If you got it, you got it. And for the most part, people that have it are altruistic. If you really have it, what's about philanthropy? But no, when you ain't got it and you're in the country illegally, and we want to understand, oh, well, no, you should die because you're over here illegally. Or are we going to talk about we came into your country, fucked it up, and now we got you coming here because we're siphoning your resources? Hello, Venezuela?
But yeah, that would be a variable argument if you can go to another country and get those same type of benefits. We're the only country in the whole entire world where we allow these type of things to happen with our illegals. If you
If
go
I
to another
go,
country, they're
if,
deporting you.
okay, if you go to Europe right now and you get harmed, they're not going to deny you services. As
Yeah,
a
but if you
matter of
commit a
fact,
crime, what's
no,
gonna
I'm
happen?
not talking about a crime. We're talking about health care.
Right. So, but to go to
If
another country, you
you
need a
get
passport,
hurt
right?
right now
To
and
go to
you
another
are,
country, you need a passport, right?
we're not talking about immigration. Are you
Tiff,
talking about
your
Your
mic. Hold
audio is
on, hold
messing
on,
up
hold
real
on, hold
bad.
on, hold on, hold on. Let's not chime in so much. All right. I'm trying to understand what she's saying. See, here's you guys already know what she's saying. I don't know what she's trying to say. So I'm trying to understand it. All right. So
oh,
are you saying if we're in like somebody got a crazy
Yeah,
check,
somebody got an echo. I was gonna say everybody mute.
check, 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 check.
it's not me. Will is still
Tiff.
got an open mic.
Yeah, we good. Marcel
So,
has the ability to mute his mic without doing it from StreamYard. So, Tiff, are you
That's what money
saying
look
no?
like.
poor man's money.
Are we saying what
You wish, bitch.
But you're so classy and have so much money. Continue,
what
Hemp.
what?
For real?
Yeah, I'm trying to
What we
understand.
doing?
Trying to listen. So you're saying that if we're in like France or whatever the case is, right?
Mhm.
Um, they're gonna take care of us just like over here, right?
Mhm.
Essentially.
It's actually better. So depending on the country that you go to,
Mm-hmm.
say you get sick in France, a lot of their emergency costs they don't charge for it. So if it's something that you don't pay for, you get the same treatment. They don't bill you. It is what it is. It's a universal
You're
service.
saying it's not even about right or wrong. It's about humane, right?
Right.
Is that
Right.
that your argument essentially?
Yes. And
Okay.
every
Now
other.
let me ask you a question, right?
Mhm,
100%. Let me ask you a question, right? So we go visit a country, right? You're
mhm,
not covered healthcare over there, right? But they'll cover you. Now, what if you are in a country, right? And you're living there when you're not supposed to? How should they handle that? Should they take care of them and then deport them? Take care of them, then arrest them? Like, where does the illegal part matter in the
You
equation?
you get the same health services.
No, no. Listen to what I'm saying, right?
Mhm.
When does the illegal part of you being there matter, right? So let's say I'm illegal, right?
Mhm,
I go to the hospital. I'm
mhm,
sick. They make sure I'm good. The humane thing. They say,
mhm.
but Mr. Watson, you're not. You here? We got to
So
get
you're
you up
like,
out of here. But you all right now, right?
well,
Like when does the illegal part matter in these equations?
so we have to talk about the statuses because you have people that are asylum seekers.
I'm saying illegal as I understand it. Let's go
So,
baseline from there.
but
So
but that
the status is not an asylum seeker. It's somebody who jumped the border. All right, let's go start from there.
and again, because we don't understand it, you
Mhm.
can't even say that because if you jump the border from Cuba because of the way that we have a system
Come
with
on,
it,
Tiff, help me understand,
You
right?
ain't
So
got no
this is
business
from a
walking.
layman,
from
standard,
so
right?
from
So I'm
a
saying someone who is listen to me, right?
mhm,
I'm saying because I'm trying to get the edification from you, but don't convolute with my question, right? So I'm
mhm,
saying someone is illegal as most people understand it. They're not supposed to be here. They're not an asylum seeker, right? So
okay.
now, boom, okay, you see what I mean? So now,
Mhm.
what happens with that person essentially? You know?
A lot of times, if you're undocumented, you will get your services. Once the services are there, then you're going to get entered into an immigration like court, and then they'll start either working on getting you deported or working on trying to get you like naturalized or at least documented. So you not may
Okay,
not become a citizen, but you may be a documented illegal.
There
no,
you
I know.
go. That's important. Go ahead.
Okay, okay. Now I do want to know why that's important. So a documented legal as opposed to an undocumented illegal.
Mhm.
Now, does that change the term illegal?
That's why I said
Yes.
we had
Kind of,
Yes.
yeah.
And then
that's why
that's who get the health
Yeah,
insurance.
you
Yes.
stuck
Hold on.
in your documents. You kind of
I, so
expedient documentation.
again, I was speaking.
Oh, I see. I
So you
see.
can, and that's why I said the way that illegal works is you have so many different statuses because an asylum seeker
Okay,
is,
so let's go like this,
go ahead.
and give me more condensed answers. Okay,
Mm,
so I got an undocumented illegal person. That's the right terminology, Eating Man.
Yes, you have an undocumented illegal person become document.
No, no,
That's the
no, no, no,
problem
no,
of the
no, no,
system.
no. Come on, y'all got to chill
Oh,
with the filibusters. I know y'all experts, but y'all do a poor job at edifying the people who don't understand because y'all expound so much on your talking points, right? So, Tiff, I got an undocumented illegal,
mhm,
right? I come in, I got a gunshot wound. They make sure
mhm.
I'm straight, and then they get me the fuck up out of here. Would you be okay with that?
No,
Tiff,
because
It was
technically,
Gator.
based on our law, once you get here, when you break the law, it's civil. It's not even considered like a felony. Like coming here is not. That's the benefit of once you get to America, you get the same constitutional rights.
what?
that sounds like a disservice to the people that are here. Now you got a documented illegal who it seems like they're going through the paperwork as creator stated, right?
Mhm.
Hey, so you got to mute. It's yours that's giving us the echo,
I know. I'm
right?
trying to fix it.
I don't know if you didn't have echo. You had echo off on your StreamYard. That might do it. I turned it back off because I wasn't sure if you wanted it on or off or not. So, so Tiff, now you got the documented illegal,
Mhm.
right? That means that they're going through the process.
Right. You're good. You're going through the process to become a nationalized or a citizen, or at least documented in the sense of you can work. You get a working number where you pay into the tax
Is
system.
that a green card?
Some, that's even again. We have our
I'm
The
trying to
man
go
let
through the
you
step.
know.
If you just say you don't know, if you don't know, right? Because I'm trying to go through the steps. So you got a
Yeah.
document and illegal, right? They're going through the process. Is that the most basic way to say it?
naturalization. That's somebody going through the process of becoming a naturalized citizen.
Okay.
Going through the process of the green card, Tiff, not naturalization.
Okay.
Green
Well, a
card,
green card,
visa
you can be a
first.
green card
Man,
worker and have a where you
I
can
probably got to
work.
get some new
So,
experts, man.
Tiff,
My
He the
experts don't
man.
know,
He the
man.
man.
Tiff,
Where you at,
You
man?
can't go from an illegal. You can't go from an illegal immigrant immediately to a U.S. citizen. At
You
best, you could go from an illegal migrant
hmm
to a green card holder, and then from a green card holder, then you can apply for naturalization.
right, but you can
Okay.
also come over here as a green
But
card holder and go through the process
so
as well.
you're saying essentially, Tiff, it don't matter what level of undocumented illegal they are, you don't think that people should be taken care of then deported.
Correct.
Okay. And so the illegal part seems to be being ignored. But what I'm thinking when I hear illegal, there should be some type of penalty or punishment for being illegal. So that's what kind of gives me cause for pause. Go ahead, E. You go ahead, E.
All right, so this is what's happening, right? Everybody talk about what they think happening. I
That's what
see
I'm
it happening
saying.
in the state of Washington. So what's
This how we
happening
feel
is,
right now, E. Look at Solo Dolo.
yeah. So
The
hold on,
people who admit that we don't understand, y'all ain't helping us that much.
well, let me help you. I
All right,
got
go
you.
get it.
I'm gonna break it down as simple as I possibly can. Right? Somebody come into this country illegally, right?
Mm-hmm.
They typically go to they try to seek asylum. They try to go into a DHS office, and then they start this process, right? When you're
Mm-hmm.
documented doesn't always mean that you have a green card. That just means that the U.S. is tracking that you're here. That means that you started the process. It doesn't mean that you start the process for nationalization. It doesn't mean that you start. That means that now they have a understanding that you're here.
Right.
Now, what that qualifies you for is now since you go from you still might be illegal, but now that you go document, the word to document is the actual the key word in what we're saying. Once I go from undocumented to documented, now what's going to happen is I'm going to start qualifying for these subsidies, right? And now once I start qualifying for what we call this, and people we doing wordplay, right? So the wordplay is okay. We shouldn't talk about the mercy room because the mercy room is not what's actually putting the strain on the ACA. That's not true.
Okay. Okay.
What's put that I know it's a good talking point. I
Yeah.
know they say in some kind of way the taxpayer gonna pay for it. What is putting a strain on the ACH benefit? What's putting the strain on the ACA benefit is document illegals or document people who ain't Americans. All right. Let me
Okay.
tell you. Let me tell you why. And so what we seen is, especially here in the state of Washington, when we seen that a whole bunch of people from Ukraine get dumped in the state of Washington, all of these people now, whether they're documented or undocumented, I don't know why we keep worrying about words, are putting a strain on the medical system. That means I got thousands of people in this state now receiving the benefits. And then naturally what's going to happen, these doctors, they going to say, we have to get paid. We can't be doing all of this work and not be incentivized for it. And so then the real corporate in this whole thing is the insurance company. The insurance company is literally getting money from the government, and they literally trying to pass the bulk off to the American people. And that's why we need more regulations in insurance companies. If I'm getting $100 billion from the government, I shouldn't go to HAMP and say, HAMP, you need to increase the bulk. You need to take on these people who ain't got insurance. No, no, no. You got $100 billion. So the $100 billion that you got, the
Mm-hmm.
insurance company supposed to be like, hey, check this out. We going to not make as much profits. What we have seen is they're literally getting all this money for insurance. From the government, and then they're increasing HAMP, and this is why insurance companies is more profitable than they have ever been. So we need
Yeah,
regulations on insurance companies. That's the problem.
Investors are
may I
more
jump in for a
profitable than
second?
they ever been.
Yeah.
They,
So
they
what?
did.
Yeah. So here's what I want. I want y'all to jump in, but I want to get Mike's voice in, and then now everybody has spoken, and now we can. Now I'm scared to say this. A free for all, not like not like American Gladiators though. Okay, like we got it because again, if so, I'm sitting here, I'm literally learning from y'all as y'all talking. So you'll say some shit that's fire. I'm like, okay, boom, all right, that's right. They eat a man. I'm saying, oh shit, I understand that. You know what I mean? So I just want to make sure that y'all keep us in mind, the niggas that don't know shit. Like if I was explaining football to y'all, if I explained it the level of which I played, I don't think most people would understand it. So I would dumb it down to a point where that information we can leave with it and have a baseline understanding. Trigger Mike, what's good?
What's going on, y'all?
Yeah, you're gonna have to make me understand what's going on out there.
Yeah, good morning to everybody. Now, I thought this conversation was dope.
Well, you said past tense, so it was dope. It ain't dope no more.
I got confused at some point.
Okay.
But no, it was dope hearing people's perspectives either way, because everybody, lands on their square and what they think is going on. I even agreed with Tiff on something that she said, like, as somebody, formally, I can't even call myself a healthcare administrator anymore because I'm in higher education now. But I was somebody that dealt with insurance, that managed the hospital and all of that, different payors and insurance companies and all that. So I thought it was interesting when she said that the system is broken. I think Jeru said the system is broken because the system is broken. But the interesting thing is, I think maybe it was Will that said, you're not gonna find anywhere better to replace this system. It's just broken. It needs to be fixed as it is. So when you said that other countries have free healthcare, we have to understand these things about other countries, right? They have a way lower population than we have, right? Finland has free healthcare. They got like 6 million people, and these countries are also homogenous, meaning that the people are mostly white or, of one culture, one religion. So it's easy to tell them what to do. That is not America in any sense of the word. We are not a homogenous people. And this is probably the last part I'll say is that America's capitalist system is like kicking a can down the road. The bill is always going to come due. Somebody just got to pay for it, right? And I'm just interested to know, what do you think Americans are willing to give up for free healthcare? Because somebody got to give up something, right? So just take this for instance. Doctors get paid. I got many cousins that are doctors in the UK. They don't get paid as much as US doctors, but it's not them, because you got to pay doctors for them to show up to work. It's the nurses that get the shaft, because somebody has to get the shaft in salary. So the UK nurses make half of what the US nurses make. So if we say, you know what, we're going to enact free healthcare for US citizens, and you tell nurses and doctors that they got to take a pay cut, are they going to be agreeable to that? Somebody got to pay for it, right? Is my wife, who's a speech pathologist, going to say your billable rate is getting cut because we have to give benefits to everybody? You see what I'm saying? So I'm just curious, what do you think Americans are willing to give up for free healthcare? Because I know it's not their own money.
Trigger Mike, my answer to that, as you know, my wife's also a nurse, a registered nurse. I think we talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
My answer to that is, well, we don't know, and we won't know until corporations are paying their fair share. Because at the end of the day, every single answer for the last 50 years to every economic problem, Trigger Mike, has been, let's lower their taxes. And yet the problem has gotten worse. Every single economic problem to these corporations has been, let's deregulate them. Mm-hmm. And yet the problem continues to get worse, right? When we talk about the golden times of the 50s and 60s, oddly enough, that coincides with high taxes and government spending simultaneously, and corporations literally paying into they local communities. Trigger Mike, you look at 2025 today, are our corporations obligated to take care of their local communities today?
No.
So
No.
hold on. I got just a quick rebuttal. You said that corporations are obligated to take care of communities. They're not. They're obligated to take care of their employees. Now let's talk about. Hold on. Let's talk about.
Are there employees in the community?
Tiff, this is me and Tarun. Hold on. This is me and Tarun.
Well, he said it was all open.
Hold on. Now go look at the salaries of doctors and how much they've gone up in the last 30 years. Go look at the unions that have been formed for nurses and how much their salary has gone up in 30 years. They are taking care of the people they need to take care of. I keep saying that the can keeps getting kicked down the road. They unionize, they ask for more money, they get it, and then it gets passed on to the consumer. So somebody's losing.
So let me read these, y'all. I gotta read these.
I want to respond to that after that.
Okay. I gotta read these real quick. Aaron with the $2 says, two horns, same beast. There is no difference.
Facts.
That was regarding Democrips and Rebloodicans. Mike, I don't know if you were here for the opening of the show. Eat a man with the $2. Cali, was Obamacare beneficial for Americans? You want to answer this real quick?
It was supposed to be how it was originally designed before we had to go ahead and make all the stupid ass negotiations through the Congress and dealing with the Republicans.
What up, buzzing, bird, flip a dozen, holla at your boy, you thought your cousin. What up, buzzing, bird, flip a dozen, holla at your boy, you thought your cousin was.
This is my brother Dre on the grind who gifted two. This might be risky memberships, man. Whoever got blessed with one, please maintain it and say thank you. Dre, what up?
Niggas.
Oh, wrong one.
Perfect.
This is my brother Dre. Matter of fact, Dre with the $5 says, make America great by making ACA single payer and close the loophole. Don't get rid of it, build on it, exclamation point. USA need universal health care.
Amen.
Dre with the $2 says, loophole, nah. Oh. Dre on the ground with the $2 says, loopholes exist in all aspects of law. Try again. Talks to 2K. 2K, what up, kid? With the $5 says, shout out to HAMP and the gang. Have a great show. Salute to my brother 2K in the building. DPO morning show every morning at 11:30. They be cooking them out. Definitely go visit next week for sure. I just got a lot of shit to do this week. Wide Nose Chronicles with the $5 says, the ACA was designed because insurance companies didn't want to cover medical bills, so they claimed pre-existing conditions as a reason why, not alien. Okay, that's a point. That
Absolutely
resonates.
true.
Dre with the $5 says, stop single payer for ACA to undermine the program and look out for private insurance companies. Single payer ACA is opposite
private insurance.
opposition for private insurance. Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Brown with the $5 says, HAMP, look up pre-existing conditions and tell me how many people would be affected or uninsured, whether they can afford it or not. Yeah, that's what.
Very
Okay,
true.
so that's what Nose was kind of. You want a quick point?
Yeah. Quick point was in between when I was at my former employer, in between me filling out the paperwork and them actually submitting it after I did my 90-day probationary period with the company, I got pregnant. I went on ahead, got my insurance. I went to go and see the doctor. They considered my pregnancy a pre-existing condition and therefore would not cover it at all. So even down to like regular human shit, it's not pre-existing condition is some bullshit. Is some bullshit that the insurance companies did.
Perfect. That's interesting for sure. That life was popping with a 20 ball, says DJ HAMP, ladies and gents. I have a question for my sister Tish.
Shit like that.
If we went to those countries that have quote unquote free health care that everyone likes to compare us to, do you think we would be allowed to utilize it being illegal?
We can and do.
No, that's why they got it. Nobody else can use it.
Okay, so he's asking the question. Right now, if you look, there's an expat component. A lot of Black women are moving. One of the things that you'll look at it is, if I move to this country, am I going to be able to participate in the healthcare system? If I move to Germany, even in the midst of me getting there, illegal or not, I'm going to get treated. It is what it is. So when we're talking about, and what either man is saying is correct, when we have universal health care service, it evens out all of this is people not paying their fair share. To Terusa's point, corporate taxes have not been increased since 1981. The bulk of taxes have
This question.
If we went to an illegal country,
they would take care of us.
They give us services.
Yeah, I'm saying, do you mean, just clarifying question, do you mean on vacation or as a resident, legal alien resident?
Either way it goes, they don't deny service. Now, is that going to get the ball rolling of potentially getting you kicked out of the country? Absolutely. And if that's something
legally, right?
Pardon me?
They went there legally, right?
If you overstay your visa, you're no longer legal. So you got there.
No, agreed. They will. I mean, they will treat you. They treat terrorists. Like I don't, they'll do that, but you gonna get the hell up out of there. I think the residency.
Let me get through these, y'all.
Yeah, my bad.
Dre with the $2 says our tax code got loopholes, but it's still law, right?
Yep.
Sean Brewer tells Tiff does not know what she is talking about. Dre with the $2 says red lipstick filter is nasty work. Dre with the $2 says in private insurance 100%. Insane with the $5 says please try to let each other finish as much as possible. Let's show each other respect, even if you do not agree. Mind Chaos Brew in the building with the $10 says the issue, in fact, is not the insurance companies. The actual issues is the providers overcharging. So if you want to regulate the private sector, start first with the providers.
Yes.
Hebrew in the hood was popping with the $2. Shalom, Aki, Hamp, and the panel. What up, Ak? Good to see you. Why Knows Chronicles with the $5 says undocumented legal is not a legal status standard. You are either legal or not legal. And illegals spend billions in taxes, but will say no emergency room. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. So, Tarus, I know you wanted to respond. I just want to baseline it. Do you remember what you wanted to respond to when Mike was talking? You on mute.
You on mute.
You on mute again.
You still mute, bro.
No, it's StreamYard.
You double muted.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, my bad. Jesus.
I just want to ask you, remember, because I just want to base.
It is still based along that.
No, you can have it. You can have it. I just want to baseline the conversation. You can have the microphone. I just want to say this. So, Mike, Edaman, I'm not sure if you was here. So you may have been listening. I saw you in the chat. I'm not sure, right? But my basic thing is I cannot tell the difference between these two parties. Maybe it's how I operate in the earth. I know it is like a lot of the Asians don't vote in mass, right? Is that still a thing for them? Like they're just not, they take advantage of
office either. Yeah, they don't hold office either. So
yeah, but they seemingly take advantage of the capitalistic parts of the society. I think I'm sure they exploit loopholes and they build their families in their communities, right? Yep. And so that's kind of how I'm pushing the capitalistic things, the tax code, whatever the case is. Those things that exist, I push through, take advantage of them, right? And my family's been decently successful, So I'm not as connected to this stuff, but I'm thinking maybe I should be, right? Because you feel kind of like, damn, do I know enough, about what's happening around me? But in Texas, we can have guns and I go to the gym, right? Like these are kind of how, like, I kind of, you know what I mean? Like look at stuff, my kids are good. The neighbors are cool,
Well, you an American, you hear me?
So I'm just like, yo, it's always something. And I've never seen most of the constituents of either party concede. Yeah. So if I keep it taught, now Tarus has a little bit, right? But Cal, and I get a lot of my information politically from her, she kind of on the side she on. Will, I get a lot of my political information from him. He kind of on the side he on. Mr. Fantastic, Sean, as an example, Trigger Mike, right? And so I'm like, damn, if this is a microcosm into the macro picture, no wonder we was shut down for 40 days and 40 nights or whatever the fuck it was. But I'm just windmilling to Ruth. Go ahead.
Hamp, it's almost like getting 350 million people on the same page is pretty rough.
That makes sense, right?
So let me say real quick. Let me say this about because you made a point, right? Like you can't really tell the difference between these people because everybody's getting it in a certain way. Everybody's robbing the bank. That's the way I look at it too. But what I want to bring to the conversation is just a different.
Hold on, Mike. Tarus had the floor.
Oh, my bad. I thought
look, he good.
I thought he yielded the floor.
I see you got all that red on too. What's popping?
Yeah. You said Rebloodicans. I had to come.
Mike, can you say Sue Whoop? Can you say that?
Absolutely not.
Don't do that shit.
I look at that like a never-ending war. If I think people now, they coming after me for like, no, thank you. But no, I was gonna say like somebody wrote a very good super chat to say we don't understand this from all facets, right? That's why I told y'all I was a former healthcare administrator, and what I want y'all to do is go look up the Office of Inspector General in your state and look up how many doctors, how many individual citizens have taken advantage of Medicare, Medicaid, all that stuff, and the money that they have to pay back to the government because of fraud, that is equally as responsible for our high insurance costs as the corporations and insurance companies themselves. So it's a total picture here. And then I just want us to kind of look at it from this frame. Tiff says universal health care is what we need. I'm not really in disagreement. I just want to see a bunch of plans so I can choose the best one, right? Because here's what we also got to understand. America is the land of the entrepreneur. All of your entrepreneurial endeavors are gone once the state owns everything. I own a group home. My wife owns a private speech practice, right? The state will now own all of that. And we have to work for the state and our pay, so that's what's going to happen under a universal healthcare system. There is no more entrepreneurship if the state owns it.
I would
So,
disagree.
I would say
But go ahead, Callie.
that's not quite true, because I know Canada has universal health care and they also have private options there as well, right? But to the universal health care thing, I was going to say that I don't think that it would be a whole lot of different systems that would have to be revamped in order for that to work here, because you have the health insurance company with their hand in the cookie jar. You also have the food industry with their hand in the cookie jar. You know what I'm saying? And with those two things, and then you also have the specialist issue with the doctors and everything. If everybody's a specialist, nobody's a PCP, and you don't catch things before it gets to that point where something's getting ready to fall off, or you have a serious specific issue. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the specialist thing, that's why every goddamn doctor is a fucking specialist. And why universal health care wouldn't work, because there aren't enough primary care physicians just for you to go to your regular checkups and stuff like that. People go for specific things that are wrong with them.
Yeah.
There is one.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole lot of different things. It's a whole lot of different things.
Mike, you see it in healthcare, bro. Think about how many times, not necessarily lowering the standard, if you will, but now they're giving nurse practitioners more power to do things because they ain't got the physicians to do it.
But I was going to say I was going to say that is actually that they are less primary care physicians because they're giving privileges to nurse practitioners now. So doctors have to specialize in order to get hired, because it literally, something that used to say PCP now says NP or PA. So
but that's due to a natural shortage. That's due to, as all you guys know, we've always had a health professional shortage.
Yes,
right.
We all,
and
you're right.
And unfortunately, the more expensive healthcare gets, the worse that shortage also gets.
Right.
Yes.
You get what I mean?
The nursing crisis.
Right, because you guys got to remember, when we have these sort of shortages and these sort of funding issues, the rural ex-suburb hospitals, the more urgent cares, those are the first to go. Then they start flooding in, as Trigger Mike knows, they start going into more of the urban hospitals, and now those urban hospitals, which already had medical professionals displacement, is even worse. And Trigger Mike, the problem is that our hospitals now, because they're corporate, they run like restaurants, bro. It's all about turnover, right? It's not about actual health.
They not really even diagnosing. But I wanted to get back into maybe everybody being in this pot and the pot being, or the premiums being cheaper. And I'm gonna say that's false, because we just said that we have to account for fraud. We have to account for so many other things. That's why the premiums are high. They already accounting for these anomalies.
Well, not only that, but
right?
One second, but creator, think about it. 1 second, Will. Hold on, real quick. Think about it like this.
I got you. I'm gonna land right here. I only been a couple seconds, and then you come on in. But I'm just saying that. So if we now we say I'm just using hypothetically. We got 400 million people here in America, and we tax all the Americans, and in theory, the premium should go down, right? But again, we got actuaries, because these actuaries are not just worrying about your premiums today. We're looking at premiums tomorrow. We're looking at these immigrants who's not going to pay. We're looking at our investors, which is probably the number one person that they actually looking at. The insurance companies care about one person, and that is the investor. Making sure that investor gets dividends. So if I'm receiving funds from the government, me as an investor is like, well, hot damn. I need to see profit, and your profit annually, those dividends should increase. It is not a year that go by. If my dividend goes down, well, guess what? Guess what those investors are going to do? They're going to pull out.
You know what?
Wait,
Tiff,
wait,
go
one
ahead.
Insurance
second, one
companies,
second,
Hold
one
on.
insurance
second.
companies
Tiff was
make
next,
profits
y'all.
by
Please,
denying
y'all.
claims. They
Tiff was
deny
next.
claims.
Wait,
That's how
Hold
they
on.
make their money.
hold on. So remember, Hemp is saying dumb it down, right? Listen, you're talking about making money. We're going to use a company that we all understand, Walmart. Walmart and Sam's, same company. Walmart would be your public option. Sam's would be like your private option. The Waltons get paid whether you go to Sam's or Walmart. When you go to Walmart, it's smaller, but because you have more people in mass buying bulk products, they are still getting a profit and they have loss prevention. So we have to be honest and say they will build into the losses. So if you can make Walmart one of the most profitable, where you can go to Sam's, pay for a membership, pay a premium price, and you got to check yourself out there. You got to bring your own bags, but you get a better price break. That would be your private insurance.
Yeah.
If you go to Walmart, you may self-check out, you might go to a line, but you also are getting a better price break. So if we looked at insurance like grocery stores and say you have a Walmart, you have a Sam's, you have a Costco, you have a Central Market, you have a Whole Foods, you have a Kroger. So what Trigger Mike is saying is he wants that. Like we have a variety of grocery stores, I want a variety of plans. If you have to be at base bottom, at minimum, you got a Walmart. If you want to work your way up within the sector, then as you progress, then your options to get better care or more exclusive care would be by what you could pay. But at base level, if you get pregnant, you're going to have somebody walk you through your pregnancy. If you have diabetes, you're going to have a doctor be able to walk you through that. And the issue with our healthcare is we don't have enough preventative care. So by the time a person
There
gets
you go.
diagnosed, the bill is
Yep.
so ridiculously high that now that's the surge. That's the issue. So if you have preventative care and you have baseline appointments where you go see the doctor, you go and you get those updates, it lowers everything. And that
Yep.
is
I agree.
happening.
So
Hell
let me
yeah,
let
Tiff.
me jump in
Hell
here,
yeah,
y'all, real
That's
Tiff.
what I
quick. Let
was
me get this.
saying. You just said it better,
Hell
So
yeah.
Tiff. Thank you.
so Tiff, 100%. But we also have to go a little bit deeper on what preventative care means. I wrote a paper on this when I was doing my master's. Okay.
Okay.
We, as the reason that healthcare premiums will not go down from a corporate perspective, like we are a corporate country, we got to think like corporate executives, corporate professionals, because Americans unfortunately are the sickest people in the world, right? So why do we not? So everybody said we need to look at it from a different perspective. Do you know who we really need to get in check? We need to get the pharmaceutical industry in check, and we need to get the food industry in check, and then our premiums will go down. We need to remove food
Yeah.
dye. Exactly. Do
Yeah.
you know why they have all of these stipulations on pre-existing conditions? Because it's our lifestyle that is giving us pre-existing conditions.
I
So
agree.
many of that stuff is preventable. As soon as you take out red dye 40 or whatever, you have less incidence of autism, ADHD. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say autism.
No,
Cancel
you
that.
got
But
It's a part of
these
it.
are the things. So they know the actual science, and they like, I ain't about to be on hook for that. But
Mike,
Yeah,
that's
but
why you see
Mike.
people
Mike,
now.
that's why
We are
they.
not even attacking the stuff. As soon as we become healthier, and here's the proof of this, right? I have United Healthcare. Within United Healthcare, they have so many programs for you to involve yourself in, weigh in, and get your premiums lower, because they're basically saying, prove how healthy you are, and we ain't gonna
right.
tax you like that.
No
Right.
Show.
smoking,
And, and,
I
Right.
like
and
how
Mike,
y'all just
Mike,
repeating everything that I
so
said, but it's all good though.
It's okay.
Mike, so you would admit you would admit that, man, it's like these private corporations are colluding with one another to get these prices up.
The only
it's the
reason, so hold on to Rooster, because
Pharmaceutical business creator
hold on.
is a corporate
Wait.
corporations.
I
And
would agree.
that's why they have such a big problem with the
Wait,
with the
hold
subsidy.
on.
Go ahead.
But I never want to take accountability away from the total person, because we will never see lower premiums until we take account for the stuff like our lifestyle is also to blame. If you're
Okay,
a smoker and you wonder why your premiums stay high, is because when they do one X-ray and see that black lung, they know they on the hook for that because you work for this company for 20 years.
Here's
Mike.
Mike,
X-ray is
Mike,
bone.
here's the problem. Here's the problem, Mike. You've already talked about it, and I need you to go deeper. Like,
Right.
pause. right? These corporations,
Serious
they're
pause.
in collusion with each other. Why? Because Mike, who was the guy who got sued for the highest Medicaid fraud in history? Rick Scott. Who did Florida elect as the U.S. Senator? Rick Scott. Do you think Rick Scott gives a fuck about our premiums?
Nope.
Hell no. Why would I
Or
want
do
to
you think he's
Why would he?
colluding with the other businesses to keep our premiums going high?
100%.
I
Yo,
Man, come on. Come
Truth.
on.
Even when you break it down, that makes the most sense to me, right? So, just as a smaller example, right? DJs, right? You understand, like the radio DJs that DJ on the radio every day, they probably cost a little bit more, right? But then the DJs that DJ at the most popular clubs cost a little bit more, right? So on and so forth. And it's very important that we almost agree on prices or be in the right price range without even having a conversation. So
Right.
if I'm a premium, so in DC, I would be like a premium DJ, right? The radio DJ is probably right above me, you know. But then if I start DJing for $50 an hour, what does that do to everybody else?
That whores the game.
Yeah,
But
so we know radio DJs, y'all gotta charge $300 an hour, right? I charge like $200 an hour, right? Then it goes on and on. And the guys in my range that's on the list of the top DJs in we gotta stay right about the same, and we kind of control that market in that way. So
but
that's
you
what I hear. That's what it resonates with me. What you
Yes.
saying, Tarus? You know what I'm saying?
But you
So and
explaining
then
why the government, has been shut down because Obamacare not only, I wouldn't say implemented the system, but it dove head first into this system. When you pay attention to how it is that these insurance companies, these pharmaceutical companies, is getting this big gigantic paycheck from the premiums going up. Why it is that the government was shut down? Because they have been fighting for unreformed subsidies, especially over these last 4 years. That's why they've been having a big problem with it.
Oh,
No,
unreformed.
so
no,
wait. Okay.
no,
I will
no.
once I just want
What?
to
Just
go
no.
Callie, I'll let you go.
Okay.
I just want to
What's
go
the
back
no?
to
Yeah, I want to hear the no though. What did he say that's incorrect, inaccurate? What's misinformation? What do we need to clarify about what he said?
The clarification is that this collusion was going on long before Obamacare, which is the reason why Obamacare was trying to be introduced, was to fix the
right.
pre-existing problems that were already
I thought,
there.
I thought he said the last 4 years.
Because the last 4 years have had
That's what I'm talking.
COVID
I'm talking about the
subsidies.
last 4 years.
He
The
said the
last
last
4
4 years.
because the
Yeah.
last 4 years had they had subsidies for COVID.
No,
So
what they did was they made it to where if you was making six figures, you could still have access to state funded insurance.
Hey guys,
And the
I gotta
problem,
head out, man. Great chopping it up with
Hey,
all of you
Tarus,
guys,
good
man.
work,
take it
man.
easy.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
man. See y'all
Tarus, I'm gonna
next
shoot
time.
you my number too, via email because that's just
All right,
quicker
cool.
too.
Peace,
Yeah,
guys.
Take it
easy.
easy. So
so
when you pay attention to the last 4 years, how is it that in the last 4 years that number has skyrocketed? The amount of money that was being paid to these insurance and these pharmaceutical companies.
where did it come from? Did it not come from COVID? And these were COVID.
Yes, and that's the
Okay.
problem. That's
So
the
time out. So Pat. Okay. Him.
But
So
here's,
when you
and
said you don't see the
Tiff,
difference,
I'm not disagreeing with you. But what I'm saying is when you look at the $1.5 trillion demands that the Democrats is asking for, right there on line 3, it says permanent COVID subsidies without reforms. That is a problem because they wanted this to go on unchecked forever, permanent. This is why the
so
Democrats, hold on, this is why the Democrats just came back Friday. I don't know how long y'all been watching this, but I've been streaming this for the last 3 months. The Democrats just came back Friday and offered a 1-year extension. This is a
they did.
problem.
Chuck Schumer did that, and it was denied. Anywho, so I've been watching this since before the shutdown.
Leave that up,
What Callie
Mills.
said, one second. What
Will,
You said
Callie
leave
Will.
it
said
up.
is absolutely true. Hemp, when you say you don't see a difference in the system, you don't see a difference, and it's because you have Republicans, and then you have Republicans fight. And the one thing that I will say is I'm very grateful for the shutdown. I'm grateful for what's happening for the insurance because what we are seeing and everybody is acknowledging is that the system that we have is broken and it's been broken. We can go back again for about 40 years. Since 1981, since Reaganomics and trickle down, we've seen a lot of different issues. And if you want a baseline where all of it comes from, because Trigger Mike said we are not homogenous. We have a multi-ethnic society and many of the things are, and they go back to white supremacy. Nobody wants to say it, but the medical issues that we have, some of the pricing things that we have, all of this goes back to race If we were all white or all Asian, they would have no issue with everybody having universal health care.
If
Part of the
everybody
thing is
paid
they
their
Has
don't.
debt,
nothing to do with race.
if
Like
they
It
that's
had
does.
nothing.
Yes,
incentives
it
like
would.
Slavery.
that,
They would have
No,
no
it's not.
problem with. They would
oh
have no
no,
problem
no,
with being able to.
hey,
They would
go
have no
into
problem with
the
paying for the people who deserve it.
Hey,
if
Who's
no
real
the
one
quick,
pays
people?
hold
the
on, hold
bill,
on.
we
Will,
don't
why
have the
don't we
same.
embrace that? Why don't we embrace that? Because Hamp already alluded to it. There are two people actually that I
Mhm.
see taking advantage of the legislation as is. I live in the Houston, Texas area, bro. Go to east or northeast side, you're gonna see something called Clinica Hispana. All right. And I used to have to validate these when I worked on site in the school. I used to have to go validate these practices for nurses to do their clinicals, for medical assistants to do their externships and whatnot. And then I would notice these places are open for on weekends, and the resident physician or whoever is the PCP there is seeing their people in their neighborhood for free. And what I noticed about that is that these people use the laws to service the people who would not otherwise have insurance. So Asians also do that, right? So I'm saying why these are the groups of people that have used the laws as written. They have used their expertise as written, and where
Mhm.
I'm sorry, as given. And the only other people I can think about that can do that in mass immediately are Black American people. Black American people are the
Mhm.
only people in the world. Only people in the world. I'm sorry, only minority group in the world that occupies a country that can create their own lawyers, doctors, and other professionals, but without the use of a predominantly white institutions. You're the only ones that can do it. You have
I'm not. I would never. I
107
would.
HBCUs, bro.
Got you. Got you.
107 of them.
Got you. But here's the thing.
Trigger Mike,
I
Trigger
can
Mike,
acknowledge. I
Trigger Mike,
mean,
not only are you right,
you
if
was
we look at how
talking
the
to me,
Good
ambulance
but
was
point.
Jesus
created,
Christ.
guess what? Black men created the whole emergency system that we know of in America is created by Black men. How you respond to emergencies, how you pick people up, how you get them to doctors, all of that was created in Black communities, and it was mimicked outside of us. But the
Yeah,
system was established
ambulance
by
more
and for us.
specifically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ambulance was.
So
So
I was looking at it more like
Hold
a
on,
business.
let Will respond because Mike was kind of having a conversation with Will in terms of, hey, the reason why we can maybe make sense to that point is because of X.
right.
But
One would not deny or acknowledge that's not a problem, but it's not at the forefront of the problem. The
Mhm.
forefront of the problem is that when you look at these insurance companies, these pharmaceutical companies, they have been literally gouging everyone so they can make high bills. That
And
is the problem.
incentivize.
Right, they've been incentivizing it, and this is why I say the government was shut down. That's it's only one of the aspects of it, but it was one of the big aspects of it. Forget the 200 billion for illegal healthcare. We ain't even worried about that because they're here illegally. They need to be gone. No one that's not a United States citizen or that's here on asylum or seeking refugee, they should not be here, or the green card holder or authorized. The biggest thing is that when we're looking at how it is that they are taking money from the American people and they are lining their pockets with it, I understand the concept of fair share. This is what I was hoping to I can engage with him before he left. When we talk about all of these 1% or these big companies paying their fair share, what is represented as a fair share? How much is that? What would that look like? What percentage is that?
And you locked in. What is that? Again, we're not actuaries. That's what I said. We're not actuaries. So it's dangerous when you make something for everybody, the whole system or the whole population is obligated, and the whole system is not paying attention to the numbers. Meaning, I'm giving number, but I'm not inspecting I'm not inspecting what I expect. I'm just giving you money and letting y'all do what y'all do. So Lilly, which is located in Indianapolis, Indiana, biggest dope dealer in the world, incentivizes the doctors to prescribe their product.
Mm-hmm.
Those are where the fights are. The fights ain't necessarily with us. Those are the unseen battles, the trillion-dollar battles that's going on right now. Hey, use my medicine. No, use my medicine. Hey, I'm gonna incentivize you. Make sure you prescribe and it keeps going. And then they make a generic version, and it's never ending. Which is why would I want to?
so create a
Can I make
question.
a point right quick before you go forward? Just one quick point. Just really quick. So when Trump tried to put a stop to Obamacare, this was the argument that they were having created. That what you just represented is the argument that they was having about Obamacare. That's why they was having it when they first tried to stop Obamacare. But we all know that the Democrats had put a stop to that. This is
Put a
when
stop
Trump
to
was
what
in
exactly?
Obamacare because they was trying to
There's
monopolize
no
everything.
Obamacare is not a thing. The Affordable Care Act is ACA. First of all, if we're going to inform people, let's call things the right thing because this is what causes mass confusion. ACA
Well, no,
is
no, no, wait,
ACA.
wait.
That's fair.
I'm trying to figure out how
Mhm.
Obamacare is, well, excuse me, the ACA is exacerbating the pharmaceutical shit. Because I remember that was an issue before ACA.
So
It
is
was always an issue. It's
Obamacare
like because when did we start? When did they start advertising medicine for you to go ask your doctor to prescribe me this?
all the
When
time?
did that
But
become a
so
thing?
so
Wait. So
Obama.
here, let me. Well, this is
Go
what I
ahead,
wanted
go
to
ahead.
ask, right? You got somebody got dropped out of the sky. They about to live here, right? How do they discern the parties? Who's responsible for this shit? Like, what's happening? Who do we go to? Who if they had to choose the lesser of two evils? That's what this shit sound like. What would be
Mhm.
your suggestion if you had to edify this person in 1 minute?
Don't
I
pick a
say they
party.
go. I say
Don't
go
pick
do research and don't pick a party.
that part. Don't pick a party. Stay independent and vote what aligns with your family. The
No,
fact that
so well, so again, I'm the person that just dropped out of the sky. One, right?
Mhm.
When you listen to people, they are independent on paper,
Mhm.
but 99% of the time they err on one side.
Yep, I was gonna say that. People
But
are
So
here's the problem.
I
Here's the
could
problem.
see
People.
it. Technically, they're independent, right? Will
Mhm.
yeah.
technically, because on paper, you
Mhm.
Mhm.
know. But then when they're voting, they're along that party line overwhelmingly.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
Right.
you him.
But
I
here's
will
the
say this.
problem.
1 second, Will. I think
Go ahead.
previously you would have seen that. I think right now the politics that we're playing, and I'll use the NYC election, this last little special electoral vote. The parties swing. So you see this pendulum, like you either swing to the right and you swing to the left because there's a chase for normalcy. Right now, because things are so abnormal, they elected a democratic socialist. If you were raised in America, socialism is a cuss word. So the system
Who's
is
they,
broken
Miss
to it.
Williams? Who's they? Who's
Pardon?
they? Who's they that elected this Democratic Socialist? Who you talking about?
The New York citizens, over 64% of people
There
voted
you
for
go.
him.
Well, you
And he
said
had,
they. We
no,
don't know who
yeah,
you talk. I don't
yeah,
know
no,
who you
New
So
talking
you
York
about.
saying in
citizens,
New York City they elected a Democrat?
a democratic socialist to the
Duh.
point
Socialist.
where, no,
But
no,
what I'm
no,
saying is, duh. See,
24%
to
of
the
people,
layman
Mm-mm.
people, what I'm
wait,
saying is,
but him,
you put
the people
Democrat in
that
front
were,
of it, right?
no, he's a Democrat,
Uh
but
huh.
MAGA people supported him. He had a lot of support for Republicans. In Mississippi, you have had the same people for 40 years. They've never had a Democrat.
What I'm saying
Democrats
is, you
won.
saying New York, New York? Are you saying
New York to Mississippi to California,
this
which were
Democratic person?
Mississippi's never had.
What I'm
They
saying is the person who got
he
voted.
is now,
Ma'am
yes,
Donnie. Ma'am Donnie.
Mandani,
So he's a
Zoran.
Democrat in New
He's a
York.
democratic socialist.
Mhm.
They've not always had
What
Democrats.
I'm
So you
saying
can,
is, but as soon as you tiff to the lane, Democrat in New York, I'm like, oh, so what?
the socialist part is
It's the
what's
socialist
important.
part.
But isn't the
Hmm.
socialist part universal health care?
No.
No, to the point to where he doesn't take APAC
Okay.
money, to the point to where he didn't take donations, to the point to where he had in 2022 when they had an election 127 6K.
Wait, I'm
No, no, no.
saying I know, but
I'm saying the
I'm saying the
politics have
point isn't
changed.
landing like that, right?
So, but
Because it's a Democrat in New York. I'm like, wow, who gives a fuck?
he's a Muslim
No, but
And what
in New
I'm
it's the
saying
York.
is this
socialist part.
That's a
Can I
democratic welfare state. Like
hold
that's
on?
okay, and then this is the last point. I'm trying to understand it.
Mhm,
Will you see what I'm
mhm.
saying?
I
And
got you.
then when you say socialist, isn't that a segment of that would be like universal health care? Is that a socialistic point of view?
yes.
All right, then. Well, so
Well,
I'm
so
just like, oh yeah, New
No,
York, of course.
because just because you're a Democrat does not mean you're a socialist.
exactly.
That's why there's a distinction there.
No, I
So
understand. I understand the separation until you talk to Democrats, and then they are for universal health care, and they're for making sure you take care of the illegals. Then I'm like, oh well, shit.
Hamp, you're
Well,
talking about
no,
ideologies. So
Yeah.
ideologies is
right.
what's making these up. So you
No,
have You have
Yes,
conservatives.
Yeah, extreme
yes, Will.
liberals are
I
not for
Yeah.
understand. I understand, and that's this. And Will, you see, that's my
Mm-hmm.
concern. It's a lot of semantics happening,
Yep.
right?
So,
And when people, then that's why I'm saying when people are saying they're independent, but then when you look at how they vote, you look at how they talk, nigga, just wear the title.
but
Yeah.
they don't want to wear the title because here's what happens,
No,
right?
but that's my problem. You see what I
I
mean?
got you, but see,
So
here's this thing, right? And I want you. I'll send you the article, but it's this thing, the same thing that's
Okay.
going on right now with black conservatism, right?
Okay.
Black conservatism is seen as pretty much we trying to tie in or buy into white supremacy. It's all an ideology, but the thing is that people don't really like to attach labels to themselves because then they would have to be pretty much put into a category of what it is that they think that they are. So when if you was to drop out the sky today and you ran into me and said, "Hey, can you tell me about politics in America?" I would say no because I don't want to influence you because people have their own agendas. I can tell you that, oh, to be a Democrat means that you're for the party and not for America. And if you want to be a Republican, you want to be an American, then vote red. But that's a problem because I have my own ideologies, right? You look at someone like Nick Fuentes, he's a far right extremist. I would never tell nobody go listen to him because even though he is of the right, he's the far right. That's that extremism that just goes too far.
And that's the levels thing.
Right. So the same thing happens with you have the radical left, then you got the left, and then you got,
No, I
Democrats.
catch your drift. I catch your drift.
Right.
Hey, so I saw this, right? And
Hmm.
this is what this shit, it doesn't resonate well with me.
Hmm.
The dude who tried to shoot Trump, I think it was either the first dude or the dude that they caught. Remember, they like got him in Florida or something. They
Yeah.
like apprehended the guy.
Hmm.
I think it might have been the first guy though. Here's was the argument I kept hearing. He's a Republican, right? Like you said, because he had the title based on his registration.
Yeah.
And then people's like, nope, look who he voted for, and this. You see? So it just like it waters it down for someone who's not as invested in it, you know?
Well,
you
the same
lukewarm.
the
You
same thing
lukewarm. You ain't pick the side.
the same thing happened with Charlie Kirk because his family is Republican. Then they say that the person who was responsible for assassinating and the party should take accountability is the Republican Party because his family voted for Trump, but he himself did not have the ideology. This is where it gets muddy, and this is why I say people need to go do their own research because when you tie yourself to a party, you tie yourself to their ideologies.
Hemp,
Absolutely.
if nothing else, what you are and what Will is saying and what we all need to say is whether you want to be involved in it or not, the fact that we are not politically astute is an issue. When you don't know the system, people will use the system against you. So whether you
Absolutely.
want to whether you want to participate in it or not, everything in America is based off of politics. Where your school, your kids go to school, politics. Where you live, politics. Your road, politics. So whether you want to be in it and you want to pick a side, that's on you. But you better understand how the system works because if
Yeah.
you don't, you're gonna get fucked.
So
So
real
so here's
quick.
what I want to say. Hold on, man, I got you. Yeah, I get all that, right? But then when you're talking to people, they are not the astute thing is what I'm calling into question is
Mhm.
because people's biases
There you go.
overcome their edification and what they're
Correct.
willing to learn and concede. So I'm seeing that happen too often. When I'm listening to y'all, because I respect how much y'all care about this, I'm listening intently. Will say some shit, I'm like, that makes sense. Callie say some shit, I'm like, that makes sense. I ain't trying to fight either way. I'm trying to get the most information so that I can be successful. What I
You
fear is
doing your
most of the people
research.
who are involved, aren't
Mhm.
doing that. And so
And I
now
agree,
I think I'm
Exactly.
but
better prepared than hold on. I think I'm better prepared than all of them because I'm not picking a side. I'm not actually picking a side. You see?
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
I agree, but
You
even
know?
within, I've been up here maybe 30 minutes to an hour. All of us have agreed to the same thing. The system is broken. All of us have agreed to people are taking advantage of it. Same thing. So you have people that may fall within the spectrum, but we all can identify that there are things that need to be fixed. And if this is what it needed for people, whether you on the right or the left, to say, either way you go, this shit ain't working for us. Now we all can come to the table with ideas and make it work for ourselves. And what I will say, the beauty in America is once we identify a problem, we are problem solvers. How you
Yeah.
Okay.
get there, how you
Hmm.
fix it, but we cannot. Once we all say, you know what, this ain't working for you or me, let's fix it. I've never been more
All right, Tiff,
excited.
come on, condense the filibuster, please.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
think
Because
I'm telling
I
the truth.
don't I think it's valuable information that you offer. I
yeah.
just don't believe that y'all believe it.
Yeah.
You
So I was
but
gonna
that's
say
No,
I don't
that
have to
that's
convince
you
that's
you.
said
inter.
That's
No,
a you thing. That's
Definitely
not
got
a
to
me
convince
thing.
me because most people
No,
like
that's
me,
a you thing.
most men don't even vote.
Then that's a problem. Most men need to vote because
Or
you
is
know
it?
why they're able to get
most
bad
people
people
don't vote.
into it?
Yeah, like
Because people don't participate.
Well,
but
I'm
most
saying,
people most
like
people
well,
hold
here,
on,
most
hold on,
people
hold on.
don't
Just
vote.
for
It-
But here's
context,
my thing
here's what
though.
I'm
That's
saying. Well, because I know just that the
I'm not
men
in
don't
this.
really be
I just
voting.
said that was Mike. I didn't
Oh,
say that.
okay. Yeah, like I'm saying, like, yo, I exploit the things I can exploit.
yeah,
I work hard. I make sure we allocate our money correctly.
Mhm.
And y'all do all that arguing shit and the shit keeps staying the same.
yeah.
Because enough people are not involved to hold people accountable.
No,
Mike been trying to get in. He been trying to get in.
yeah.
I've
I was
been
gonna
windmilling
say.
tips, so I
I
apologize.
was gonna say to your point, if I was gonna give somebody advice, is just don't be emotional about it and vote your interest, your actual interest. Because when you
If
look at how Trump won, right? Trump won the popular vote.
Mm-hmm.
And when you saw black men defect, what it was 78%, and it was down from 90% for Biden. I took that as there are far less black men being emotional. I'm sorry, being unemotional about the voting process and actually voting their interest, which is why they broke with the Democratic
being
Party.
deliberate about
Well,
that
hold on,
decision.
wait, because in politics is dirty, so you have to pay attention. My bad, Callie. Go
Yeah.
ahead, because Callie was there.
No, no, I actually wanted to say something to Callie Bev
Okay,
when you
good.
asked the question. So people all usually say because there was a benefit, or I'm sorry, supposed to be a benefit in Obamacare, they say, well, how are pharmaceuticals involved in Obamacare? It's directly involved. Remember, anytime somebody enacts a new act, they raise taxes on someone. Obamacare raised taxes on they imposed a new pharmaceutical tax, which
Yes.
puts all drug prices up. That's why people were like, why are y'all celebrating this? Because
Mhm.
just to give you some context, Amazon employs 1.2 million people in the United States. Guess how many big pharma employs? 1.3. So it's going to get pushed to the consumer. They're either going to start cutting jobs, or so they're like, Obama, you think this is a win trying to increase tax? And Tiff, to your point where you said we're very good at solving problems, no, we're very good at raising taxes and kicking the can down the road into somebody else's yard. That's what we're good at.
can I ask you a
Now
question
I
about
agree.
taxes
I
though,
I
and not
I, I agree. I agree with that last point most definitely because the illegal immigration thing has been kicked down the road for like for like 40 some odd
right?
years, right? Um, the thing that I was speaking to was the overall issue with pharmaceutical companies and everything like that. And he mentioned Obamacare, and I was asking what specifically was he talking about with that. My
Mhm.
overall point was the pharmaceutical industry has been a problem for a long ass time.
Right.
That was my only thing. And he said Obamacare. That's why I was asking. Okay, so what specifically are you talking about with Obamacare, with drug
Yeah.
prices going up because drug prices been going up? You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
what that was. It wasn't in contention of what he was saying. I was asking him to
Mhm.
clarify what he was saying.
Well, let
So
me just ask the question to the panel.
But
Like,
he explained it.
we argue amongst each other, but why do we not say like, hey, how is Congress and Senate have universal plans? They have the best plans, and they don't have no issues. And guess who pays for it? We do, the public. I want what they have. You
Government do got
represent
the
me.
best insurance.
That you
We
represent
can't
I'm
me.
do
sorry. I'm
it.
sorry. Well, hold
Why
on, hold
can't
on.
we do
There
it?
are people that get the plan, Tiff.
Okay.
Federal workers get the plan. Like, in fact, let
Okay.
me put it to you this way:
Okay.
when I compared the plans that Donald Trump had for federal job cuts and Bill
Hmm.
Clinton had. They're no different. The
Okay.
reason, like Hamp knows this. He lived in the D.C. area before. The
Hmm.
richest black people on earth live in Washington D.C. and they're
Hmm.
not
Mhm.
entrepreneurs. They're federal workers. Their
Hmm.
benefits are too good, right? We have people like you got to go
So
on Reddit.
good.
Yeah, no, too good. You got
Did
to go
Ham
on
drop
Reddit.
off?
On Reddit, people are showing their thrift
Ham dropped
savings
off.
plan, right? And first I thought it was military people. No, these are people that work in DC for like multiple organizations. Most of them have $1 million in their thrifts, millions of
So,
dollars in their
but let
thrift.
me ask you a
Don't tell
question.
him. Don't
So
tell him to do
that
real research.
yeah, yeah.
But here's the thing. But if you're saying federal workers, you mean the federal workers also have the same thing that our Congress and our
Just
representatives
about.
have?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so
yes.
if so, the federal workers can have it, and our representatives can have it, so we can find a way to make it work for all of the
Nope,
citizens and make it
No,
affordable.
nope.
No, no, it don't
no,
have
you
to be the
can't.
exact thing.
It
I'm
Okay.
can't
not
even be
saying it has to
close.
be exact. I am saying we can find a way to make something where we can have at least a basic standard of services. Let me just ask that: do we all agree that there should just be basic and let's not even talk about illegals. Take them
Okay.
out.
So
Take
can I ask you a
take them
question?
all the way
Can I
out.
Would it
inspire
be better? Would it be better to have a plan like that or a flex spending account where everyone has an amount that they can use to whatever services that they need? Or is
You
it
know
better
what?
to have? Is it better to have? We losing people left and right. Is it better to have? Are we about to get dropped? Well, fuck it. Let's just say
No.
something
Yeah,
quick.
I
Is it
was
better to
about
have a
No,
system? Is it
I
better to
don't
have a
think
system that's better for everybody?
No, so the flex spending, I
flex
love it
spending
as
ain't gonna
long as the
work.
flex spending, if it rolls over. I don't like the fact that you
I
pay
gotta
into it
clean
if
my
you don't get
office. No,
the
I'm not.
use it or lose it is one of the things that kind of gets tricky. But outside of that, the
Mm.
flex spending, again, so we have really creative things that can work. All I'm saying is we need to be okay with maybe having a blended approach. It's not going to be a one size fits all.
Yeah,
And I
Mhm.
think that that's okay to have that. I
yeah.
think
So
it's
no, it's not that we disagree, Tiff. It's
Hey,
that
y'all, I don't know where Hamp went, so let's
America
just leave it
has
us
a
two.
we have the greatest private sector. So that's why I'm just saying, what are we willing to give up here? Because, right, I have a very good job. I have health
mm-hmm,
care through my job.
mm-hmm,
My HSA, like they reimburse me a lot of money. You
mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? But it's almost like in order to have those benefits, my job has to be doing very well. Right.
Hamp,
So
you
it's
there? That
like,
an
how
avatar.
much are we willing to take out of the private
Oh,
sector
okay, cool.
to give
Mm-hmm.
to the public sector? But the people that work as hard as me, that are degreed and all that, if we have to get anything taken from us to give to other people, then we gonna start complaining. Right. So it's like I want to know where the rubber meets the road here. Like, are we 100% willing to abandon the capitalist system in favor of a democratic socialist republic? Because Americans are people of abundance. If
It
we know
wouldn't
nothing
work.
else, we know that.
Trigger Mike, it wouldn't work because by your own admission, as Americans, first of all, it's too many sick people in America. That
Too many.
wouldn't work.
Too many.
It wouldn't work that way.
Yeah.
It would what it would do is it would literally in more ways than one blow up the country.
Let
It
me
would
Is
ask
be
a
over.
let
question
me
though.
let me
Can
let
No,
I?
me
I'm
give
just
you.
saying. No,
Go ahead,
let me
Kelly.
just say this. It's too many different systems that are poisoning us, even without people who smoke like me, whatever, like that, right?
Yeah.
They still end up getting cancer, getting sick, and everything like that. It's the daggone food supply and
Yep.
it's the pharmaceuticals that are
Yep.
fucking us. So it's too
Right.
many different systems that would have to be fixed in order for us to be cost effective
Yep.
when it came to universal health care.
But so
That's
boom.
why
Wait.
I like the
Say that.
idea. I like the
Say,
idea of it, but
uh,
actually having it in practice, I don't think that can happen without fixing a whole bunch of other things that surround
but
it.
okay. But
So
wait.
making
Stay there.
America
So
healthy
wait. One
again is a
second.
good
So
plan.
Trigger Mike, Callie, all y'all are saying the same thing. We understand that there are some things that are fundamentally wrong. We know the food that we have right now, you can't even sell in some countries overseas. We
Yep.
understand that AI is coming. So if we
Yep.
know that the food is making us sick, we know that AI is going to take a bunch of jobs. Why can we not go into the business of making America's
Hey
healthy?
Tiff, I got a question, Tiff. Give me cause like you saying it's all bullshit, right?
Hmm.
Give me an argument for Trump.
It's that one.
I think he was good for business.
No,
I
no, no.
think that
Now, give me an argument. Say,
I
yo,
think
when
he's
I
good
say
for
Tiff, yo, what make Trump? What's the positive, man? How can we applaud that man? What would you say?
Policy wise or non-policy wise,
I don't
just to
know.
clarify.
I don't know.
Oh.
what I
I
can
just
say
dropped out the
about Trump
skies,
is
but so
now
I don't know.
what's good about
What?
Trump is when you want to get shit done, whether it's within the rules or not, you can get things done. So instead of people talking about we can't do this and we can't do that, what he's shown is you get done your agenda. So the Democrats that are sitting up, we got to do this, we got to do that, fuck that. If I have an agenda and I want it done, I'm going to do what I need to do to make it possible. It is what it is. It would come hook or come crook. That man has shown that there's a way to work the system. And the other people that don't want to work the system, you are benefiting from no change just as well. So what I will say about MAG or anybody else, they have an agenda and they're getting it done and they don't care. So the Democrats that want to go along to get along, you have no conviction and you worse than a person that I'd rather you be a dummy and have conviction than you go along to get along. Hence, I respect George Bush. I don't think he was, you can say he was a horrible person. I don't think he was the smartest, but
Who?
he had conviction.
George Bush,
George Bush.
Sorry, I
the,
just
Oh,
dropped
the
out the sky.
daddy, the
I just
daddy
dropped out the
order.
sky. I have no clue who that
There
is.
you go. Wait. I'm confused as hell. Isn't that the American way to do anything by any means necessary to get what it is you're trying to get?
That's where we are.
Okay, and when we say that he's done things illegally or legally, what do we? Let's say hold on. Let's say Hamp just dropped out the sky, and me and you standing on the street corner, and we having a conversation. Hamp walk up and say, "What the hell are y'all talking about?"
So I'd be like, "Say, Will, you know that $400, that 400 million plane? Is that have we ever been? Has a president ever been able to take a gift of $400 million from a foreign?"
Well, the good thing is that wait, hold on, wait. I got you. Just use you and I. The good thing is that plane wasn't given directly to Trump. That plane was given to the Department of Justice.
So he was able to take a gift that normally you couldn't do, right?
If the gift was given to the president, I would be on your same side. But we have to understand, Hamp don't know what we're talking about. Hold on, Hamp don't know what we're talking about. So we talking about this white man who's the leader of the country. Mm-hmm. They didn't give the plane to him. They gave the plane to the Department of Justice that his country represents.
So did we get a brand new golden jet that we normally wouldn't get? Even though it was going to the DOJ?
Didn't that go to the Department of Justice?
No, I'm saying it went to the DOJ, right?
Yeah, it went to DOJ.
So just real quick. Yeah, I was gonna say just real quick on this like foreign policy stuff. I think somebody had already said like many people. I don't debate many people on foreign policy because once I ask why, the conversation usually deteriorates. All right, the reason we gave money to Argentina is so we have ability to spy on Venezuela and places to launch our troops from. Right, everything the United States, everything we do has a military purpose, strategic purpose. All right, even the Middle East. Look at where Qatar, some people call it Qatar. Look at where it is based. Qatar is in the Middle East. Now we have somewhere other than Iraq or Afghanistan to put a base to spy on our enemies in the Middle East. Everything we do has a military strategic purpose. So when people say, why are we sending money here? Nigga, the United States don't spend money. The only reason Russia is at war with Ukraine is because we want to put a base in Ukraine to spy on Russia.
Hamp don't know what these places is. He just fell out the sky. You got to remember that, right?
He didn't.
So no. So Hamp, let's say we put a device in Hamp's hand and we say, Hamp, whatever it is that you don't understand that we saying, go look it up for yourself, right? So now we're talking about the $400 million plane, and we're talking about it was gifted to Trump. So then Hamp can go on his phone and he can type in on this wonderful thing called Google. He can type in plane gifted to Trump. And then when Hamp sees what it says in Google, it says in May of 2025, the United States government under the Trump administration formally accepted a luxury Boeing 748-8 jet as a gift from the Qatari government. The plane, which critics have valued up to $400 million, was gifted to the Department of Justice, not to Trump personally. So we understand just by basic, simple, and rewrite arithmetic that the plane was not given to Trump, right?
Yeah.
So America got a good plane then, right?
America got a good plane.
There we go.
So can we now, moving forward, based on, remember what we said, when we talking about ideologies, based on politics, are we going to move forward and say, yeah, that plane wasn't gifted to Trump? Or are we going to say, yeah, to hell with Trump, that plane was gifted to him because that's what I believe? Or are we going to go with facts?
Yeah.
We're going to go with it was a bribe.
I was going to say,
okay.
Just to the healthcare
so we just sticking to facts. We're just going to go what we want.
Just to stick.
But wait, Mike. I want right. So, Callie, let's say Callie into the conversation. Now, Callie says, yeah, but it was a bribe. But Hamp don't know what none of this is. So Hamp hears this, and now Hamp's
don't know what bribe is?
No, wait, he just fell out the sky. So Hamp hears, well, wait, the president of the United States took a bribe. Wait a minute, that's bullshit. And then here come 50 other people like, yeah, and Trump did this, and Trump did this, and Trump did this, and he did. And then Hamp be like, man, you know what? Fuck Trump. Welcome to politics.
Welcome to politics. So that's
because
why
none of that. Because none of that, even though what we literally just looked up, which is a fact that the plane was given to the Department of Justice, people will still say it was actually given to Trump. And then now we're going to say everything that we possibly can about Trump to get you on our party. Hamp, welcome to the Democratic Party.
Absolutely. And
perfect. It's a bribe. He bribed the American government.
Yeah, but the reason I said you have to be unemotional about it is because I don't like getting attacked when I tell people I voted for Donald Trump. I'm smart enough to understand the facts as to why I voted for him and I didn't vote for another candidate, right? And when you do that, This whole topic we had about reducing healthcare costs. Now, I don't know. I'm not above saying that the reasons these people do these things is purely political, and I know that, but I can still benefit from it. So at no time am I trying to advocate for their morality, Democrat or Republican. They do what they what is politically good for them, not as what's good for people, but I can still benefit from it. That's
Can I
the
make one small argument?
Watch this. Watch this. We were talking about make America healthy again. Unfortunately, the person who is doing the most on that right now is Donald Trump.
It's Trump.
The person who was removing synthetic food dyes from food and got all American food manufacturers to remove synthetic food dyes out of their food that are making us sick is Donald Trump. So if I was to tell a HAMP that doesn't know anything like you care about what your kids eat every day, I sure do. I'm like, look, I don't know what they're talking about over there, but this dude actually doing that. Your wife cook, she make food for the kids to go to school. She really care if they eating that stupid stuff. This guy doing something about it. So you might want to look into that.
Can I say something right quick? So this is not just a political problem. This is also a religious problem. This is also a research problem. People will point you in the direction that they want you to go because they need you to be a part of group economics or group think tanks. And this is the biggest problem when it comes to just individuals as a whole. We want to believe that Trump is a bad person, but when we look at the things that when we talk about making America health again, we talk about Callie Bear when she just said about her situation. We talk about the food dyes and all that and the other, echoing everything that what Trigger Mike said. We look at the president who's actually doing something about it. But then when we point to the last administration, the first kickback that we get was he's not president no more. So why are we talking about him? But when he was president and we raised these concerns, it was, oh, you're a racist because you're voting against your own party. You're voting against your own people. So as a black conservative, understand the common ground. When we say we want what's best for the black community, but the black community says we want what's best for everybody, how is that best for the black community? But anyway, I got to get up out of here, y'all. Y'all take it.
Before you leave, let me say this to you. I'm going to say this. I think that conservative or not, I think that most of us that participate, Black Americans, we are far politically savvier than what we give each other credit for. And if you do say that you voted for Donald Trump, I believe that it's for your own personal benefit. And I think as Americans, we have a right to pick the people that serve our families best.
That would be acceptable had I not been called a coon just because I voted for Donald Trump.
I didn't call you coon booty.
You didn't, but the general
But I'm talking
populace,
about you. No. But if
I
give you that, then let's stay on the up and up. Because what we can say is that we have to take it, like you said, emotion out of it, and maybe think that there's some of y'all that are business owners. You did some things for business decisions that work best for your family, and it didn't have anything. Even if we take race out of it, and you say, yes, I'm a black man, but I also have a family, and I did what was expedient for my family.
Right. So even when it comes down to black conservatism, even when we look at something like social media, and when you have black people, and you can go back across the history, you can see that there has been black men and women calling out dysfunction and degeneracy within the black community. It's not that they hate the black community; they want better for the black community. It's just that it's delivered in such a harsh way. But my thing is, going by with your logic, if we remove the emotion from it, and we just stick with the facts that we have too many problems within the black community. As a black conservative, I'm only calling out the problems. Either we're going to address them or we're going to keep convoluting them, and then we're just going to say.
I got you. And I'm gonna quote my big little brother, and you got it, Callie. You can't punch him if you don't love him.
Right. I mean, and that would be true, Will, if you didn't use incendiary language to strike emotion, like sitting over here talking about her bonnet or whatever, or calling this the EBT community over here. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that will get you called a coon, period. Right. Whatever your politics is, don't care.
But on that same notion,
you can try and hide behind conservative policy all you want to, but that's yeah, you did.
I did, but hold on. But wait. I only use that language after you said I don't like hearing broke people talk about broke people problems or poor people.
If you weren't broke,
but hold on, wait, time out. But wait. But we're talking We're talking about incendiary language, right? So if you don't want people to have a reaction to your words, you shouldn't use the word, correct?
But you just said let's not be emotional.
Stop. But you said let's not use incendiary language. Hold on. Wait. I want to break this down. All right, I got you. But that's the logic that we're working in.
I'm just saying, please don't call me a bitch because I don't come at you like that.
I won't call you a bitch, but don't call me broke or people who are on the panel. You don't know everybody's financial situation. How can you assume that everyone's broke?
I know.
It's core. It's poor in contrast to the movers and shakers who are actually moving the policy. You are
Mhm.
poor.
You ain't
Do
got
you know?
Elon
You know
money.
what
Mhm.
I have noticed though. You know what I have noticed because this is something that we do often. I don't want Elon money, and I'm not joking with you. I don't want
Hell
Elon
no.
because Elon money come with Elon problems.
It's not. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's
So,
not about you
it's
wanting it or
interesting.
not.
So here's the funny thing, right? I tell people all the time, I can't believe that somebody. I used to want to be famous. I used to want all that shit. I actually want to be the richest person nobody ever heard of now.
Huh.
Yeah, I
That's who I
think
want
they.
to be in real life.
Yeah,
Right.
I think
It's
yeah. With
All right,
fame
so
comes.
just
Hey, Will, be safe, bro.
take it easy.
You ready? Yo, I think just in terms of the conversation, right? Yeah, you can be subjectively poor comparatively,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
I think that there's also a baseline for what poor is, and that's objective, right? They say the poverty line is X, right? They say average income is X. And
Yeah.
so now you compare yourself to the average, which is the majority of people kind of land right there. And
Yeah.
then you do or don't call people poor based on those baselines.
And you got
And
to
you,
also understand. Yeah, I'm
know,
sorry, Tiff. You
go
got to
ahead, I'm
also
done.
understand for somebody like me, poor is a mindset. So when you say the
Hmm.
word poor, it means way more than what I think the average person thinks they're saying. Because
Hmm.
I'm telling you right now, you could clean my bank accounts out, my investment accounts out, and I'm gonna be devastated.
But
But I'm give me 5 years, I'm gonna make it all back. So that's why
but
I'm
that
like,
but Trigger
yeah, go
Mike,
ahead.
that also goes to when you're the exception to the rule, then we don't have to insert ourselves because you and him, I don't care where they land you, you're gonna win because you're a winner. And when you have that mindset, then you don't put yourself within groupthink. So when we're talking in mass, we're talking in mass. So those of
Mhm.
us that know certain things when it goes to hemp and he's talking about football, one of the first times we came up here, I was like, my son played football. He's played football from 4 to 18. And he was like,
Yeah.
yeah, he played, but I played in college. I can concede that I can understand from 4 to 18, right? It doesn't mean I don't know anything about football. It means he has a different understanding. So when he's talking about football, I understand that he's coming at a different level, and I don't take no slight that he knows it at a different level. It's the same thing when we're talking about anything about politics, when we're talking about emotion and we're talking about making decisions, when we are honest, and also we're talking about in game. When I'm saying poor versus poor, ain't nobody up here a trillionaire. Nobody. And you're
Mhm.
not poor of mind. So when I'm saying we're talking about poor versus poor versus poor, making 300K is great. But when you're a trillionaire and you got a private jet, you don't give a damn that the TSAs aren't getting paid because you going to the private airport. You don't care
Mhm.
if people not going to be able to travel. So when we talk about things being in relative, we have to be bigger. And this is what Hamp is saying about talking at a base level, which is why I brought insurance back to a grocery store because we all understand Sam's and Walmart, same owner, still making profit, still have loss prevention, still make a way to make a profit, but also it's cost efficient for the consumer. If we can do it within grocery stores and, like I said, still have Market Street, uh, Kroger, HEB, we can find a way to make things work. When we want
So
to convolute things, we be doing too
here's,
much.
here's what I'm saying, man. To y'all three specifically, because y'all still here. I'm gonna need y'all to be more what was that shit called?
Succinct.
Non-bipartisan. Is that what it's called?
Not
Nonpartisan.
nonpartisan. Yeah.
Nonpartisan.
Yeah, that thing. Because you guys come across to me as bipartisan, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
No,
No,
no, no.
yeah,
Partisan. Partisan.
partisan.
partisan.
Partisan. All right, that thing. So if y'all gonna help edify the people, I'm gonna need y'all to be more nonpartisan.
Hmm.
Because a lot of times when it gets smoky, we err on our sides.
Yeah.
You know, frankly, I'm surprised, and I don't understand why Callie has on a blue hoodie because
Red.
she is
Red.
a Democrip.
I'm not. I
You
am. I do
definitely
lean
are.
liberal. I do lean liberal, but I'm not a Democrat.
Yo,
Yes, you are.
I'll tell you,
No,
like
I'm not.
the amount of
I'm
people
not
saying they're
done.
not
Let me finish
Democrat.
windmilling, Mike. You definitely have the correct color on, Mike.
Yep.
And Tiff need to go get her some blue for sure.
Nah,
Mhm.
I'm a pragmatic progressive.
Because when we look at y'all based on y'all arguments and talking points, we can easily see which side you err on.
Yeah.
And
That's
if you're going to edify, hold on. And if you're going to edify the populace, we need you guys to be more nonpartisan.
Yeah.
I'll continue to be a pragmatic progressive.
I think the amount of people that stop calling
I don't think she
themselves
know what
Democrats
pragmatic means.
since Trump won is astounding to me.
Huh?
It's crazy. Y'all were all Democrats 13 months ago.
I've never
No, I wasn't.
I've never been a Democrat. You know what, Trigger Mike, what blew people's mind is I voted for Bush. I was raised to be conservative, and I still have very much conservative beliefs. I just that as a former Christian, I
Yeah.
still am like, hey, to the least of these, feed the poor, feed the sick, feed the lame. Those things,
Hold
you know,
on, Tiff.
like taking care of people.
Hold on, Tiff.
That kind,
I
that kind of
said
shit.
I said something, Tiff. I'm gonna ask you again. You know what pragmatic mean, right?
I surely do.
And you are what now? A pragmatic what?
Progressive.
Pragmatic progressive.
Literally antithesis of each other.
That means guess what? I don't pick no party. I'm gonna do
No, it
party
doesn't.
no matter
No,
what.
yo,
No, it
man.
doesn't.
Like progressive really mean bucking the system. You know what I mean?
No, it doesn't. It means progress.
No. I mean, I'm sorry. Contextually, right? The progressives are the LGBT, like
Pragmatic
you know what I mean.
is
That
sensible and realistic, meaning I
Right.
look at what is real and what's in front of me. And the
The
beautiful thing that
progressives,
what we no what we don't and what I'm gonna give you
men
credit for,
are
all the black
women
people.
in the
yeah,
progressives.
with girls to play in boys sports, like come on, boys can play in girls
That's
sports.
why she said pragmatic.
It's
Like
not
y'all need to
pragmatic
stop.
though. It's not
No,
Trigger
she
pragmatic.
Mike,
said
no,
no.
but
Oh my
Cap,
God.
like real talk, I'm gonna condense it. I want to
Just say
say
you a
what
Democrat, Tiff.
no,
Just say you a
I'm not a
Democrat.
Democrat. I literally have been a Republican the majority of my life. And the first Trump won, I think he made a lot of movement. I think that
Mhm.
MAGA and the Tea Party, they did a lot of good in the sense of if you weren't politically aware, you got there. I
Yeah.
don't. The Tea Party was based out of frustration. I want us to get to a point to where Black people are not risk averse. We vote for politicians that ain't gonna cause the most harm. I want to vote for somebody because I really believe in your policy. So if you are
I'm just
MAGA,
talking about the terminology. That's all.
Yeah.
well, you don't have
I'll
to
tell you
agree
this.
Well,
with
right.
it.
And
It is what it is.
I do lean liberal, yes, but I was all good with the Georgia Tea Party. I voted for Brian Kemp, did not vote for Stacey Abrams, all of that type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, don't do me that. I lean liberal, yes, but I am not no fucking Democrat.
I got you.
Pragmatic is the argument I have. That's all
I
I'm
will.
saying.
I will actually tell you
Reasonable
this. Yeah, I will actually
and
tell you this.
realistic.
Yeah,
Hamp
that's not it.
definitely,
That's not
Hamp definitely did me a disservice by, I get it, but could you just imagine if I wasn't black, nobody would be calling me a Republican. If because I have to defend myself in my position so much that it seems like I'm way more conservative than I'm actually am. I'm the only person here in that last thing you invited me to during the night, Tom. I said I would consider voting for a Democrat that is more center. That is more
Right.
center, right? I'll say
But
I'm not
Yeah.
averse.
but
There are
Trigger Mike,
people.
you know
Look,
what's
there are
sad?
white people. Hold on. The daughter will cry. They use the term Democrat as a curse word in some of these redneck households. You see what
But
I'm
you know
saying? Like,
what's but Trigger Mike, here's the thing, and this is why I want us to get right
Oh shit! Hold on, Tiff.
before just real
I'm at
quick
the I'm
before
at the 3 hour mark. If y'all want to extend the show, because I gotta go, so it's
right.
fine. If y'all don't, it's $100 today. That way I can get out of here.
All I'm gonna say is this: black
Hold
people
on,
prior
Tiff.
to
I'm trying to plug my listen. I'm trying to plug my thing.
get paid,
All
young
right,
man, get
it's a
paid.
3 hour mark. You heard? So y'all want to extend the show? Hit the Cash App. If not, I see y'all tomorrow. I think.
All I'm gonna
Go
say
ahead,
is
Tiff.
this: before Kennedy, black people were Republicans.
yep.
Go back and do your history. Before Kennedy, black people were Republicans. Martin Luther King was a goddamn Republican. We were Republicans and we didn't vote Democratic because Democrats were the racists. Go and do your political history. And black people, above all, are conservative people. We
They
are the
all
most
racist.
Christian.
That's
For true, for
this
true,
this is the difference though. There's a difference between your political ideology and your party.
true.
Listen, here's
There's
what
a
I'm saying.
difference.
It's the same, my nigga. That's what I'm
It's not
saying.
the same. It's
And
not the
this
same
and this
though.
and this is why it's very important to understand what teaching entails, right? You can say what you want. How people understand it is that you playing semantics. So if you want to edify the greater populace, you have to communicate in a way in which they understand. And if you don't do that, just be prepared to continue in the same perpetual ignorance that black people stay in, because the people that know don't want to put it in a way in which most people understand. They don't want to admit to things because they get implicated. That's not how you're gonna be able to
Well,
teach what.
well, no, like I just tried to edify on that, and you tossed it over your shoulder. You didn't want to hear it. You didn't want to be edified.
No, I said it's the same.
But it's not the same.
Yes,
No,
it
it's the
is.
same. It's the
But
same. And if we, you
it's
know what,
it's
that's
so
the
not the
first thing
same.
we gotta be.
Because
We gotta
that
be
because
honest.
it because no
Callie,
no no
when
no no
when
no
you have
because they're because conservative Democrats were the ones. Those are the Dixiecrats. Those were the ones who wanted to
Look
conserve
at
the
the
way that it
chat. Look
was
at the
and to
chat, and
go on
it's
ahead.
the
I don't give
same.
a
Callie,
fuck what the chat is saying because they
yeah,
But
ignorant too.
so
They don't
now this
know.
what I
So
might
now
have
so
to
now
I
I'm
might
trying
have
going
to.
ahead. I'm trying to say it.
Well, the thing
Callie,
is,
But
Callie,
whatever y'all
hold
go
on, Tiff.
y'all
Here now,
think what you want.
here's the opportunity, right? And that's what I'm saying. Who, when we want edification, who do we go to? Who we talk about? If you don't give a fuck about what the majority of people are saying, like, and this, and I'm talking about teaching and edification. You heard? And so here's the thing. So when we start talking about like Bible, right? Oftentimes in those conversations, I'll literally say, for the sake of conversation, this okay. I'll say black for the sake of conversation. I'll say Christian for the sake of conversation, right? Because people mostly understand it that way. Now, once people start to bend their ear towards you, now you get into the minutia. And so right now we got 400 people. You start yelling about it ain't the same and I don't give a fuck. That means that people are not going to listen to you because you don't give a fuck.
Well, when I was calm, you wasn't listening either. So I guess it don't matter,
No, we was listening. I just said
right?
it's the same.
so
All
I
right,
can say
but
that
you didn't
me
want
and
to hear the
Callie,
explanation, but it's all good.
what Callie,
Whatever.
this is what I'm gonna
We hear
say.
the semantics. Well, hold on, Tiff. We hear the semantics in what you're saying, Callie. No, but I'm obliging y'all by saying I don't know, right? I understand you guys say this. You say Democrat, then liberal Democrat, then conservative Democrat. We hear that shit. We're not fooling nobody with that. I lean this way, but I'm not that, right? But if you keep leaning, eventually you're gonna fall over. We hear the shit that y'all saying. I'm just breaking it down and being direct about it. That's it.
So
What I'm saying is your political ideology is not the same thing as a political party. Ergo, you can lean liberal but not be a member of the Democrat Party and vote down ticket Democrat all the way through. It's the same thing
Mm-hmm.
when you have
Yeah,
conservatives who also vote for
yeah.
Democrat politicians. Okay,
That's what I
they,
just
they they're
said though. See now,
conservative. They're
I just
conservative,
said
but
that.
they are
I just said that. I just said that. I literally just said people will say that they're extremely liberal, right? They'll be conservative Democrats. I hear it. And we saying that, yo, the probability and likelihood is what it is. So y'all can play that game or y'all can help people learn. Right. But
well.
if
I'm
every
trying to
time
help.
y'all open your mouths, you are for Democratic candidates and shit like that, then don't sit up here and tell me, but I'm not Democratic. That's bullshit. That's what I'm saying. And we seeing through
so
that shit. That's what I'm saying.
and hemp,
Well,
I'm
it's
gonna
not a
just
game. If you think it's a game, then there's no reason for me to even edify on the difference between a political party and a political ideology.
Exactly. Because it's
Right. So stay
bullshit.
ignorant. Well,
No,
it's
no,
not bullshit.
because we're saying the
Because
pragmatic
that
part of it is that what you saying, trying to differentiate is bullshit. That's what we
but
saying. That's the pragmatic part.
it
hemp.
So now
directly core it,
tell us what we need to know. You see what I mean? Fuck all
it
the
direct
name dropping. Just tell us what we need to know and then be nonpartisan when doing so. That's what we saying.
No, but what I'm saying is that it's directly related to the fact that people are ignorant and think that, oh, the Democrats are the real racists, and it's like, no, it's not the Democratic Party, because those political parties believe in different things now than what they did back then. That's the whole reason why everybody's ignorant to the daggone Southern strategy, because political party is not the same thing as a political ideology.
Who said they
That's
were
why.
racist? Because now, and this is the thing about the show, right? if you're navigating the show, what did I say? They all the same, my nigga.
No, I'm
They
not talking
all
about.
racist. Okay.
No, I'm not talking about you specifically. What I'm talking about is the history of the situation between the two parties and why people do not believe about there being the conservative Democrats were the Dixiecrats and everything like that because they were conservative despite them being part of the Democratic Party. Okay, and the Republicans were in fact more liberal than what they are now. People just want to base it just off of daggone political party when the political parties are not the same as they were back then that they are now. The ideologies are the same, the political ideologies are the same, but the parties are not.
Yeah, we understand that the KKK comes out of the Democratic Party. We understand that Abraham Lincoln was a Republican, right? I was saying they all the same. Y'all try to make these
Right.
differentiations for what? Stop trying to define it for us and tell us the truth about who giving us the most chance to win.
And
Yep.
hemp.
Fuck the liberal shit. Fuck the Democratic shit. Fuck the lines. We don't care. Give
Yeah.
us the information so we could be
And,
better.
and what
And
I'm
And
saying
I
is
agree.
I agree to that point to what even to concede to Cali. I think since 1980, since the Rhino Republicans and the Republicans that we see today they're completely different. And I think it's okay for us to say that they have a lot more in alignment. These people eat together, sleep together, work together, party together, kids go to school together. They are
yeah.
way more in alignment than anybody wants to say. And it'd be a lot of smoke and mirrors. So I appreciate when people say this shit don't look no different from this side to the other side. Because
Mm.
then if we take off our flags,
Yeah, that's
what
what
we
we
can
said.
do is hold people accountable. Because if this is what you said you were going to do on your policy, I don't give a damn what if it's a D or an I. You're not following your
Right,
policy. And if you
Yeah.
don't follow
right.
your policy, we're going to primary the hell out of you because there is no reason in the world that Nancy Pelosi is retiring after 39
And Tiff,
fucking years.
and this is what I'm
Right.
saying, right? That's why when I asked you the Trump question, it was unjust, right?
Right.
But I'm saying, yo, tell us because we know like what most of your talking points are usually in terms of whatever it is. But yo, tell us what the fuck he did that we could benefit from. You heard?
Mm,
Right? And I think people that just want to get further faster will be edified based on the valuable conversation and not
right.
as opposed to the shit that we often hearken on that we
Right.
can't do nothing with. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And you know what? I'll give you one policy. I don't know much about crypto, but I see a lot of people having success with crypto. So he's
Mm.
opening up a new source of income. That is something that I'm going to start getting involved in because if this is what's opening up and it's going to be a new revolution, then we all black folks need to learn some goddamn crypto. If it's not
Crypto,
regulated, go ahead.
and then like the regulations, like Omar was saying, and I think Callie was talking to him, um, like smog and stuff like that in California is something about the truckers and how
Mm-hmm.
Trump helped the truckers with policy.
Yeah,
Omar
man.
said, "Well, I drive trucks."
Yeah.
Right? And that's an
Mm-hmm.
industry that has the cost to get into trucking is kind of high, right? Because trucks cost money, but it's a straightforward industry, right? You get contracts, right, etc., and you can do well, right? A lot of people can tap into that. You can work for another company, get a lease vehicle. I mean, there's so many ways, right? Because truckers are needed and necessary. And I could
Mm-hmm.
see that and be like, I could see how other black men could latch onto that and instantly be successful.
Yeah. So
Right.
just
Mm-hmm. We,
on the
me and
big,
Omar were specifically with the trucker thing. Me and Omar were specifically talking about cracking down on the illegal immigrants driving the trucks and everything like that and taking jobs
There
for
you
other
go.
people and
Yeah.
everything. And we were able to come together on that one. You know what I'm saying? He
Mm-hmm.
was like, "What you think about this?" And I was like, "Okay." So aside from me thinking X, Y, and Z about Trump and everything like that, and the politics behind them naming specific states in this article, I agree with the overall policy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Despite all the extra noise.
Callie, you know
and,
the other
and
thing is
Yeah,
he's
I'm
real
not. I'm
quick.
not insane.
No, but you
Okay.
know what? He's real quick to talk about like industry. Like it's clear that there's going to be a push for AI. We need to be learning AI. What are the things that we as black people can do to play within the market to make it work for us so that, as Mike will say, we have the money to build a family to now hold these people accountable. I am a
absolutely
pragmatic progressive.
pragmatist. Just say pragmatist.
I'm a pragmatist.
Yeah. So I mean, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. Please, and I don't like the fact that we get so deep into the political conversation. The reason is that we don't really ask them for anything. So it becomes like
Boom.
a game. They're using us. We ain't gaining nothing. But
Yeah.
what I do use them for, even Nancy Pelosi, I'm upset she retiring. Whose investments I'm gonna follow now? All right.
Wow.
So I got this book last week. I'm about 50 pages in. It's called Dollar Apocalypse. Do you want to know why BlackRock and Donald Trump and all these people are putting their assets into Bitcoin? Is to make these coins stable currency, because when the most of my wealth, I guess you could say, is denominated in dollars. So you go read about the Great Depression. That's how everybody lost their money. So if you want to know why BlackRock's most profitable ETF is their $100 billion Bitcoin ETF, that's why. So, these are the reasons why I follow politicians, not just because, I don't have a I'm not trying to morally justify anything that they do. They're
Mm-hmm.
like, do what the rich people do if you want to be rich.
Yeah.
Right?
And
We'll deal with the morals later.
Mike,
Wait a
see,
minute.
that's
Can I
the
ask him real
stuff.
quick?
Hold on, because I gotta go. And
Can't do that.
this the stuff that we trying to understand, right? Don't throw these terms the fuck out of here,
Mm-hmm.
right? Tell us what we need to know. Like even like Callie said, she was able to acknowledge Trump, but I don't like what she prefaced it with, because people get deterred by context a lot. When Callie said, "No matter how I feel about Trump," see, people that don't want to listen anyway are gonna be like, "Oh, well, how you feel about him?" and forget the part that she said he did a good job. That's what happens so often because we do have um sentiments about these people and all that, but where can our people benefit? Because ain't nobody for us. We know that by now. They for themselves and whatever their the most substantive part of their constituents. So we know by being 14% of the population, at least that's what we're being told, right? How much do we move the needle for these motherfuckers anyway? So now we just got to exploit the things that they do put in place, whoever's there, regardless, and stop letting these motherfuckers say, if you ain't voting for me, you ain't black,
Right.
right? Let's take the
Yeah.
fact that hey, the HBCUs did get a influx of bread and actually do something with it this time, right? And not fuck up the money like it seemingly all these chancellors be doing.
Every
But
time.
we ain't making the most of these the shit that we got that we being subjected to, right? Because it's happening to us, not for us. We agree there, regardless of who's in the White House. So now that we know that, let's make sure we band together so that everybody's edified on what they can exploit given who's in there. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at, him.
Yeah. Damn, I gotta go. Like, share, let me read this in the chat.
I just wanted Mike to tell me what version he's reading because I see 3 on Amazon on the Dollar
Oh,
Apocalypse.
Get all three. You
yeah,
got money.
no, one of them like 30 something dollars. I'm reading Dollar Apocalypse Survival Guide by James Walker. I'm gonna get the other one
Okay.
next.
David
But,
Bates.
yep, I'm gonna get that one next. But this is the basic one. This
Okay.
one is good for people who are trying to assess which person they are. So he gives
Okay.
you every
Let me
type
read
of
it.
person that needs to follow.
Okay.
I got Freeman's Journal with the 2000s. VA is a government healthcare. Oh, VA is government healthcare. Ask vets how they like it.
Mm.
Mine Chaos Brew with the 5,000. Doctors charge 95,000, but insurers pay only 500. Many providers reject insurance. Universal healthcare would worsen this, deterring new providers.
Yep.
Hank with the 2000s. Why do you need a bonnet? Jesus Christ, Hank. Insane with the $5 cents. It can be looked at as racism, but realize specific groups have more issues than others, ellipsis, due to their lifestyles, and sure, these can be due to racism. Aaron with the $2 says, Democrat, Republican, both false prophets to me. Sean
Facts.
Brewer with the $2 says, Tiff, please stop. MAGA didn't want him in New York. Mind Chaos Brew with the $5 says, these ACA subsidies were always set to expire, and this recent shutdown was to ensure the midterms go to the Democrats. Period. The ACA subsidies will expire next year, and we will be shut down again.
Yep.
Sean Brewer with the 2000 HAMP, you are right. They want free shit. Who's that? And saying with the $5 in 2025, soon to be 26, if you are not doing your own objective research, you are intentionally being ignorant. Stop being lazy. Do your research. RNC with the $5 says the super rich are puppet masters getting the poor to argue with each other on dumb social arguments and small dollars while they steal billions.
That part.
Exactly. That part.
Indeed. Sean Brewer with the $5 says when RFK say
Maha.
Maha again, why did the Democrats try to destroy him and make him look crazy? especially when they say it's the food, etc. Yeah,
Because that nigga crazy on
that's a
other
dude with the
shit.
crazy voice, right?
Yes.
But they say he pushing back at a lot of that shit though. RNC with the $5 says Qatar $400 million plane bribe will be donated to GOJ, but will be donated to Trump after he leaves office. Damn. Mind Chaos Brew with the $5 says long story short, we're paying rent to other nations when it comes to foreign aid.
Big facts.
RNC with the $5 says Trump bailed out Argentina for $40 billion was a credit swap with investment bankers. It was a taxpayer bailout protecting money banks invested.
Yep.
Curtis with the $2 ranked choice voting would help a lot. I don't know what that is.
Yes, it would.
You have to explain that to me in the Discord. Sean Brewer with the $2
Definitely.
says thought she said she won't gonna be here long.
Shut up, Sean. Every time I come, you pay money, so.
Sean Brewer with the $5 says LOL HAMP. They not Democrats, but guarantee vote Democrats 100%. They are frauds and don't want the tag on them because Democrats' policy is crazy.
That's what I be talking about when I don't give a fuck what the chat be saying because they be wrong all the time.
Sean Brewer with the $5 says love Trump policies but hate Trump. You can tell the media destroy your brain. Thanks him for making them do this in real time. Oh, I think we edifying each other, man. Like just about communicating because we need more people to be involved in helping us edify. Motherfuckers don't want to read shit. Right? I know that be the case. And a lot of times people will read the thing and not really understand it. We see that happen all the time with the holy books, right? People think they reading the thing and don't understand it. Mike is reading the apocalypse of the dollar, right? But he's into that stuff, right? He has acumen in what he's reading. Right? You can't just bust open an algebra book and be like, "Oh yeah, that was a good." You don't know what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there's a lot that goes into it. That's why we really need teachers. That's why when I get up here, I make sure to say all the time, no, I need the information. And then when you guys say something that perks something in my mind, then boom, I'll go look at it further. Right? To be thoroughly edified. Like we pulled up the crime bill in real time was that last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago? And looked at it, look at the votes, look at everything, looked at, when Biden's bill came, now the disparity was even worse. Why? His portion of that bill. So I think that these are great conversations. We got to continue to have them 100%. So I got to roll, man. Dope ass conversation, 3 hours and 25 minutes. This might be risky. Salute on my brother Mike, my sister Callie, my sister Mrs. Williams in the building. I appreciate y'all, man. Jump in the Discord. This conversation must continue.
One second, real quick.
So make sure that
Wow. Bruh. I was saying if you don't know things, come up out of your ego, go to the Amazon or to the library, get a kid's book and start at
Tuesday, women's POV, to Friday.
I was like, those children's books, but I can't.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. DJ HAMP about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real. Well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, to back the facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, to Fridays, there's a jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky. I hope you know. This might be risky. Let's go. This might be risky. No, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ HAMP, it's time to start the show. Salute